How's it going, YouTube? How's it going, Twitch chat, and wherever in the world you are going to be sitting back, relaxing, watching the final night here of the North America Finals. Top 5 from this lobby go on to the Offline League PMPL on Mustache Dave _ on the social medias. Joined this evening with Monica.
Hello. This is our final stretch of PMCO North America. It feels like it just kind of started, but I'm sure for these teams that they've been playing every single day, every single week, it just feels like a marathon for them.
I mean, it's been quite the journey. All these teams in this particular lobby right now, they started out in the group stages. There were 4 groups, and then from those 4 groups, we kind of weeded out the weaklings and we sent them to the semifinals, which were also around 4 to 5 days. And from there, we got our top 16, and they only have 8 games to prove themselves to see if they're worthy of being that top 5 to get sent from North America to the PMPL Americas, where they will compete against Latin America, Brazil, and of course the 5 invited teams from the region for the Offline League. So pretty much a lot is riding on these last remaining games, Monica. People's futures, their aspirations, their dreams, all come down to 4 games. It is actually insane.
Yeah, speaking of those top 5, right now we have Wildcard as number 1. They had an insane day yesterday, taking 2 chicken dinners. So they've solidified themselves. I would comfortably say that they're going to be one of those teams, unless they just completely bomb today. But they're currently at 93 points, almost a 30-point lead on second place, which is helping Quit Addiction. H2A, another team that got a win last night, and then Tribe is in 3rd place at 54 points, just slightly below, helping Quit Addiction. They also got one of those wins. So yeah, definitely, that's kind of name of the game. You want to get those wins, you want to get those points, and try to climb as high as you can on the leaderboard. And after that,
yeah, I mean, wins are so huge. You know, they're so huge when it comes to points. And you mentioned Wildcard. They're going to be sitting at 60 placement points and 33 kill points. And I think you mentioned they're about 28 points ahead of second place. So that's a huge point gap. But then when we look down there, remember, all these teams want is top 5. And between Simplicity and the Unnamed, there's only a 7-point difference. And that's 5th and 6th place on the overall leaderboard. So things could definitely get shaken up here tonight. If you are a wild card, I want to say all you need to do is kind of just show up and not have 0-point games. And you should be looking pretty good tonight.
Yeah, just looking at that top 5 right now, I would say number 1's like already done. Number 2 is kind of a stretch, but kind of 3rd through 5th, I think it could be anyone's game. It's really, you know, the people who are down in that bottom half or out of the top 5, they just need to have some really big point games, and they can climb really high on the leaderboard.
So we will see a couple teams to pay attention to tonight that are going to be right on the cusp. Obviously, all these teams, you know, they could have a phenomenal showing here tonight and easily find themselves up there in the top 5. But teams that are kind of neck to neck right now is S&G, Simplicity, the Unnamed, Space Station Gaming, Jovi, Prada. I mean, those are kind of the mid-pack squads right now. So depending on what happens here in the first 2 games, they should be setting themselves up for victory. HQA, like you mentioned, getting a chicken dinner yesterday. They're going to be sitting around 32 placement points and 33 kill points. So they're about even, and it looks like they will be opening up tonight's game with an engagement onto 4 Angry Babies.
Yeah, where that plane path was, 4 Angry Babies, they usually like to loot a little bit further on the east side coast, making it all the way over to Lipkova, but they weren't able to get all the way there. So helping Quit Addiction, these are their stomping grounds all over farm area, and I think 4AB was just a little bit too spread out, so they get the first blood of the match, taking out one of their players. Right now, they're just gonna continue on their way, find those different compounds within farm, and just keep looting before they need to find their solid spot within the circle. That first circle is just kind of centered up right on the map. It has military base on it and the majority of the main island.
Yeah, I mean, some of these teams that are in the top, 5, they're pretty much just going to be trying to maintain their placement points and not throw it early. So I'm actually surprised that HQA took that early engagement. That's something, at least in my opinion, if you are up there in the top 5, you're going to want to avoid at all costs. There's just a little too much RNG in it for me specifically, but good for HQA. They were able to get a couple knocks early, couple kills. For Angry Babies, though, on the flip end of that, they're currently in 10th place. So that's worst case scenario for them. They definitely don't want to be finding themselves in early engagements in the next 3 fights. Of course, you want to have all 4 members live in the end just to set yourself up looking pretty good. We're going to be checking out Prada. They are going to be all on foot looking for a more centralized position heading towards that 3-story out there. Going to be looting up on some of these yellows over here. Looking around the mini map, wildcard up there in Severny. They're named the Nova, Jovi Military Base, LTU, Primorsk. So all these teams all throughout the night probably going to be utilizing the same drop locations that we saw them use yesterday.
Well, most of them are, but we now actually have Space Station Gaming. They went to Pochinki instead of Milta that they usually do. I think they watched it back from yesterday. Nobody went Pochinki in the Erangel match yesterday. I think that we had some teams such as BATS, such as Polar Ace Esports that went there during the group stages and the semifinals. So these teams, they didn't want to contest them early, didn't want to have any neighbors knocking on their door. So this time around, nobody was there. So Space Station Gaming now finding themselves very, very more center than they are used to, because jumping over to Milta, they usually tend to come in a little later or having to edge it a little bit more than we see here.
Yeah, in Space Station, they're only 8 points away from placing in that top 5, so super close here. And like you said, setting themselves up for a more centralized position will just eliminate some of that RNG when it comes to these early circles. Talking about Circle 1, it's not going to be too harsh on anybody. It's going to have majority of the map in play, especially down there in the military base. I'm curious, though, if we have a Southern hard shift, I'm going to be looking at teams like Jovi, who like to camp that Western Bridge, and, of course, the Unnamed, because they could be setting themselves up for a ton of kills with these teams that will be forced to rotate down there. Trust me, Monaco, I want mayhem, all right? I mean, I want these crazy circles. Last night, the circles weren't too harsh on our teams, I want to say.
Yeah, we're actually, so you were just saying that Space Station Gaming, they need a big game here. And the first Space Station Gaming, they looted up Pochinki, came a little bit further away, and Juicy finding himself a little bit too spread out from the rest of his team and gets taken out by the entire team of Null. So Space Station Gaming already losing Juicy. He's their in-game leader and one of their strongest fragers. So that's going to be crippling for them for the rest of this match. Now the rest of them just spreading out. They don't want to be too close to this compound, and they're just going to cut their losses at this point.
Yeah, it looked like they were thinking about maybe providing that support, taking this engagement onto Null, but then we saw them just kind of drive on by. They're going to be taking up a higher ground position, overlooking that. But we also are going to have Universe 7 and Prada out here starting to have an engagement of their own. We see grenades coming out from up there on the high ground from Universe 7, all grouped up together. Going to be connecting a couple nice grenades, inflicting some damage until at least one of the members of Prada.
Yeah, Prada Universe 7. Something you mentioned before, their logos kind of look similar, right? And this is something that we mentioned back in group stages, who has the better logo, and we were waiting for this 4v4 fight to kind of determine that. So Universe 7, they landed over in crates by South Georgia Pole, and they rotated all the way down into the center spot. Looks like the first knock of this engagement, though, is Vutron Cal onto Rad from Universe 7.
Honestly, I'm not picking favorites here when it comes to these squads, but Universe 7, yeah, they got the Dragon Balls in their logo. I don't know. They're collecting them out here. It's a little more flair, in my opinion, but we'll see what Dragon will be on top after this engagement, because both of these teams being forced right now to take the fight. We're about 9 minutes into game number 1. We will have a total of 4 maps here tonight, the same rotation as last night.
Yeah, Universe 7 and Prada very close. So Prada is 9th place right now. Universe 7 is 12th, but there's only, 4 points between them? So you can see how close these teams are. There's so much on the line that, just one good game or one bad game can really just make them jump over a ton of teams on the leaderboard.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you are a team here, like you just mentioned, all these teams are so close when it comes to points that if they do have a poor showing in game number 1, you'd hope that that doesn't affect their mentality coming into the final 3 games. And they just want to remain in that mindset, like they got it, they can do it, they can accomplish whatever, get these chicken dinners all night long. And you know what? If it doesn't work out after tonight, maybe go back and review and maybe discuss the mistakes that were made, but definitely not after the games. Not in my opinion, at least. You don't want people to start fighting, pointing fingers back and forth. It's too soon for that. But looks like that engagement is going to be stalled out for just a little bit.
Looks like X Gamer now just on the edge of Pochinki Hill, finding themselves with Simplicity. So X Gamer now looks like Rage. He's just pulling up. I think they were just centering up. They had a scout come over, so they got that first knock onto Simplicity. Got Doc a little bit tagged down, but the rest of Simplicity, they're just going to be holed up in that one compound, and you know, not really. I mean, there's no reason to full on take a fight like this, a full aggro fight. Right now, all these teams, they're in the circle, just centered up one more time, most of them favoring that main island part. So right now, they're just kind of popping some shots at each other, feeling each other up, but just gaining that information back and forth.
Personally, this is my least favorite compound.
Really?
For multiple reasons. I mean, that high ground is so strong against that compound, let alone the parking of your vehicles. You leave it open to get your tires popped so easily. I believe that's kind of we actually see when the tires popped over there. I think that's why after Simplicity received some shots, they decided not to remain in that location, as we are going to see them going for a rotate right now, sending it a little further north.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming around to the edge of Pochinki. There's not going to be too much loot in Pochinki to be had because Space Station Gaming was already there. And now we've seen this rotation from Wildcard as well. They rotate from Severny all the way and they stop into Pochinki in these circles. Over here now we have Jovi. I said it before, they're very disciplined. Even though they land on the military island, Caitlyn, their in-game leader, she's very strict on, you know, we only loot for this amount of time, and they're usually the first team to start rotating to get across that bridge to get back on the main island. So they have a very, very nice center spot right now.
I mean, they got to be proactive, right? Because everybody in the lobby, they know Jovi's rotational paths. They know where they drop here on Erangel. So if they take just a little too long, they're definitely going to be gate kept over there on that western bridge. So they got to be proactive with it. They are going to be moving into a more centralized position. They are right smack in the middle. They're going to have to defend their current position from all angles here. They might get sandwiched. I would hope for them to survive a little longer, maybe find some hard cover to kind of bunker down for the time being. We're going to be checking out Tribe, relocating their vehicles, making sure they are good to go, and they won't be losing any of their tires out here because, you know what, insurance is expensive out here in Erangel.
Very expensive. We are waiting for the next circle to pop. These teams, they're just kind of all in their cars. They're just waiting for the map to pull up. Right now, it looks like Team Singularity and Prada have found each other, but that circle hard shifts over onto the eastern side. So I'd say Tribe, you saw they had that really nice compound up on the hill. Really great vantage points looking down all over the place, but you can see all these teams, they were watching the map. As soon as it pops, they get in their vehicles and they start to go because they want to beat the crowd to get those nice circles in, or nice compounds within the circle.
I do like that we are going to see some BSS play from Stan. Usually on Erangel, we see every player, as I mentioned, that Russell and kill feed with that DP. Definitely one of the tried and true weapons here on Erangel. Looks like Menu will be connecting out there onto Stan. We didn't get to see that VSS in play. Most likely, Prada will be able to get that revive. This fight will be taking place over here on what some people like to call Potato Hill, as it does look like a nice baked potato up there on the mini map. Talking about potatoes, you see the kill feed teams starting to pop off right now.
Those are nice. Looks like over here now, Fugazi, he was the one knock from Prada. He just bled out to Cabo, so now it's only 3 players up from Prada and then 4 players up from Team Singularity. Team Singularity, I do like they're kind of spread over. They're kind of in a very nice vertical line, having a lot of different angles looking over onto Prada. But again, these teams, they're already in the center of the circle. They don't really need to push a fight. They're not fighting for positioning here. So they're just kind of waiting. But you see in the mini map, we do have a team pulling up, and that is going to be Abusement Park just on the outskirts. They might be able to come in and be a thorn in the side from on the side of these two teams, Prada and Singularity.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just trying to survive right now. We see X Gamer all the way up there in the north will be rotating for Angry Babies. They got their last 2 remaining members alive down there in farm. And here comes Abusement Park We always see gas cans, but no one ever uses them to get the explosions. It feels bad. I know why they carry them. You know, they got to keep those vehicles juiced up out here. It looks like Stan will be in that prone position, tossing out some grenades out there. Simplicity, though, you got to keep an eye on them. They are not currently on that mini map, but they are right out there on the west side of this zone. So they might come in here and third party this fight between these two squads.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more of a novelty, kind of a funny clip sort of thing to have the gas cans blow up and knock somebody. I think it's a little bit more useful for them to use those gas cans for actually for their vehicles. So, but one day I think we might see a gas can being used in a major tournament to possibly get a knock, and that'll be the clip of the century.
You love to see it. You love to see
it.
They got it for a reason.
Yep.
So best of 8. See a couple people in the comments saying how if you mess up one game, you're pretty much done. I don't necessarily agree with the whole messing up one game. I would say you have 2 games, 0 points max. So I'll give him 2 games. And I still wouldn't even say you're done, because right now the scoreboard, it's pretty tight when it comes to, like we mentioned, 3rd place all the way to 10th place. Like, it's definitely doable within 4 games. Remember, all these teams they don't need 1st place. Like, they don't need to catch up to wildcard. All they need to do is place in that top 5. And as we mentioned, 5th through 6th is what, 8 points. 7th through 5th is 9 points. Like, it's super close. I mean, that's definitely one game worth of points. So we will see. I know there's a lot of opinions. People saying we should have had a best of 10, a best of 12. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, for the meantime, when we see a couple teams rotating, like, do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, it's really anyone's game. I think it's just one game doesn't really matter. It's kind of how you can play consistently, how you can rack up those points across all the games that are going to be counted. Right now, this circle actually we saw it shift over. It hard shifted over to the east side, and now it hard drifted back over onto the west side. And Pittsburgh Knights, they were very proactive about centering up, finding a really good compound, and they just get the knock. We have X Gamer knocking on their door, but here on the screen we have Singularity and Wildcard. Oh, Wildcard kind of all jumping in, running up, pushing up by, like, right next to each other. So, Wildcard, they were able to overwhelm the one member of Singularity, Minwoo. Remember, Minwoo, he was one of their teammates before they did a little bit of a roster change before PMCO. So now Singularity down to only 3, while Wildcard needs to get the heal up back on Slicky before they push up on this fight.
Yeah, honestly, Wildcard, they could push every single fight here tonight. They don't really need to play passive. They have such a large point lead within that 1st place spot above everybody else in the lobby. If they get wiped early, like, they could definitely afford it. So it's only the upsides, in my opinion, for these fights. It will allow them to, you know, gain some practice, I guess you can say, for the PMPL, just being aggressive, playing different play styles, and maybe being heartbreakers out here, because they might knock out a couple teams from their dreams, unfortunately, as we are going to see them currently fighting SNG, who are in 4th place right now, looking to just maintain their placement points. Clue going to be behind this rock, just bunkering down for the time being.
Yeah, Team Singularity, they are the ones who really need the points here. Kevo goes down to Acer. Acer getting a second knock with that Uzi, that perfect hip fire, and getting the knock and finish on to Clue. So right now, it is just MVP left alive from Singularity. He's making his great escape, trying to find his way in, but he's driving right into the middle of the circle, just downhill from Pittsburgh Knights. He's going to be shot at from all different directions right now. Yeah, Tribe on the hill to his right, and he's got so many teams all looking at him right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're MVP, you might want to just blow up this vehicle yourself and just use it as cover, because as we mentioned, SNG, all they want to do right now with their solo member is just stay alive as long as possible and try not to have a 0-point game. Same thing with Prada out here. I mean, Prada, they're in 9th place, you know, 27 points. One team I'm going to have my eye on here tonight, we saw them in the kill feed for just a couple moments, Pittsburgh Knights. I mean, they performed so well in the semifinals. Night 1 yesterday, lackluster to name it, and hopefully they can make the comeback here tonight, because that was definitely one of the teams that I had on my personal top 5 list, at least, coming into this.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, not a great showing yesterday. Their best game was 4th place with 6 kills, and other than that, they had a 10th place, another 10th place and a 16th place yesterday, so not a lot of points to be had. They've only had 15 kills yesterday, and for a top-ranking team like Pittsburgh Knights, that is quite the shock to see.
Yeah, you gotta kind of question, maybe it's the nerves, the pressure, and talking about the Knights, we see them team number 5 there on the mini map at the top right-hand corner. They will be in the northern section of this next zone, and looks like they are going to have a crate right near them as well. It might be a little too dangerous to acquire that at the current time, and going to be checking out Simplicity Doc as they attempt to get some shots out there onto the members of Abusement Park, but they got knocked out in return. And it's only Russell, but I mean, Russell has been lighting up the kill feed with his DP here tonight. So far 3 kills, and I want to say a couple of those knocks were just not able to get the flush, but Russell is putting up the damage numbers. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, right now we have only about 2 compounds that are in play in this circle, and that's where Pittsburgh Knights is and Jovi, so that's why you're seeing so much in the kill feed. These teams are sending it into those compounds, trying to take it. Looks like Wildcard, they crashed up right where that last player's MVP from Singularity did, and they were able to overtake him. The grenade, though, from Pittsburgh Knights, they know somebody is down there, and they now have the information. They know it is Wildcard, so Acer, they need to get the revive as soon as they can, but Pittsburgh Knights, they don't have a chance to come over because all the other teams surrounding them would be able to gatekeep, or would be able to third party and potentially get a knock and take them out.
Wildcard just trying to survive, like you mentioned. The brigade of grenades on raining right there from the Knights, and the Knights, they do seem aware of Simplicity up there to the west as well. They're going to be attempting to gatekeep them, but we're going to be checking out Abusement Park. They straight up sent it all the way down in the south, and it actually paid off. They're actually able to find themselves a compound. We see Jovi across the street and Knoll as well, so we are going to have a 3-way standoff right now. The unnamed just on the outskirts of the town as well. Irish's little feet behind the rock. Can Sam spot him? I don't think so. They're doing a really good job. I don't think they're in the zone though. That's the problem. Yeah, I think Irish is outside taking the blue damage. Yeah, unlucky. Oh. Oof.
Oh yeah, his heel was almost exposed there. He's just bleeding out right now. He knows he's being held by a team down below. Now we switch over Slicky, the last 2 alive. Slicky and Spring just kind of spraying it over. He might be able to catch Tribe, King A. I think he tried. Yeah, King A and Memo are the only 2. Sorry, not only 2. Memo is knocked right now, but just in that direction, King A is the only one down the mountain, separated from the rest of his team.
King A down the mountain, and we do see the next circle pop. LTU going to be out there in the west. They've just been extremely passive this game, laying low, being quiet, looking to come up in the end with the surprise. They are going to have 4 members alive, and if you are a Latinos Unidos fan, they're in 15th place here so far, so you got to respect their strategy coming into game number 1 here. Looks like the Knights will have to reposition. They are going to have a couple members from Tribe, as you mentioned, right on their tail end.
Yeah, I've said it before. Memo, he's second to none in terms of utility usage like those grenades. So he knew there was somebody there in the smoke. Acer, he knows he needs to move now because the one grenade from Memo got the knock onto Slicky. Looks like Memo, he was trying to push up a little bit further, but Pittsburgh Knights be able to play spoiler and gatekeep them from getting into the circle. So Pittsburgh Knights kind of right on top, be able to overlook all the surrounding area around them.
Ooh, Raven.
Kobe.
Oh. Okay.
That little bit of damage.
Been huge. I mean, LTU, they're like so close on top of one another. It's kind of scaring me. Raven has the drop on them, and I don't know if Raven has any more grenades available, but that could spell disaster for them. They're going to be utilizing this rock for the time being as cover, and Raven relaying that information back to her squad over here. I'm surprised that Spring's not going to attempt to third party this either. Behind the Knights, and Raven with the pull up right now, just straight up sending it with that Uzi will be connected on in return from that off angle from one of the members from LTU.
Yeah, LTU.
Very questionable.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, pretty questionable. They pushed up on that. Raven and Sam both got knocked. So is J7 and Jagger left up, and they're trying to get the revives as soon as they can. But right now from Latinos Unidos, it is just Gabriel snaking away in the distance. Oh, with the grenade. Gabriel actually finished off his teammate, but was trying to get those knocks on the Pittsburgh Knights. Just misses out, however. So Gabriel, now he knows that Pittsburgh Knights is right in front of him. Pittsburgh Knights is pushing up a little bit closer. They know he's behind this one singular tree. They need to split up right now, get those different angles, and gets taken out just like that by Pittsburgh Knights pushing up to the tree.
I mean, I guess if you're the Knights, I have to agree with the play now that I'm looking at it, because I'm not just saying that because they won, all right? I'm saying that because they have 5 kills and they're trying to get as many points as possible to really make that come up here tonight, and they have quite the journey to do so. So they have to be aggressive and confident every single map if they want to do so. Talk about aggression. The Unnamed just got done breaching this compound that Noel we're currently occupying. Noel will no longer be with us. F's in chat for Noel, but we do still see Jovi down here, 2 members alive. Prophecy going to be attempting to defend their second floor with the push. Will be connecting onto one of the members from the Unnamed. Not able to get the flush. We'll get the flush right now. The Unnamed are just using so many resources.
Oh
right
my God.
Now. There's another one. Oh, Prophecy so low, but remember I mentioned there's another member alive, and unfortunately Slump was not able to defend the same building as Prophecy because they had a little 2-2 split going on right now.
Yeah, that was huge for the Unnamed, taking out Null and then taking out some of the members from Jovi. Currently, they are at 6th place. That's just 7 points below 5th place. So now they have 6 kills and have a confirmed at least 4th place finish in this match. So right now we have Slump, the last solo alive from Jovia, the Unnamed with 3 still up, and Pittsburgh Knights probably the ones that are probably going to win this game. They have 5 kills right now. They have all the circle control. They just need to gatekeep all these teams from getting in, and then the solo from Wildcard just spring out in the background.
I mean, if the Knights, if they can pull it off tonight, that just goes to show you, like, a best of 8. Okay, I mean, the Knights, they were down there at the bottom coming into today, and it just goes to show you how a couple good games could just propel you up these leaderboards, and that's exactly what the Knights are attempting to accomplish here in game number 1, to just give them that momentum, that much needed momentum to finish off the night. It looks like the Unnamed Bucky and Ran gonna be loading up a couple grenades, looking to take the fight to the Knights.
Yeah, the Unnamed, they lost the 1, so it's only 2 left alive. That's not what you want to see when you're fighting an entire team of Pittsburgh Knights, one of the strongest fragging teams in this lobby. So Pittsburgh Knights now, they're just going to be playing on the defense. They know they have them cornered over here, and they know they need to push up on them and try to get in the circle. But Slump, he's just going to be holding on for dear life, trying to be as quiet as possible, maybe playing a little bit of a third party on this fight between the Unnamed and Pittsburgh Knights.
Yeah, I believe Slump actually took a couple shots, definitely throwing out some grenades over here. Ran will be holding down that angle onto Slump. It's only a matter of time before the Knights decide to either push this or play this one out with their numbers advantage here. They're going to be tossing out some smokes to block the sight lines. Ran tunnel visioning right now onto Slump, and the Unnamed recognizing they need to take out this solo player back here, or else they might risk getting backstabbed.
If only they had saved one of those grenades for this opportunity, because they know they have Slump cornered right there on that wall. Oh! He actually, I just saw it come up, so maybe. But Pittsburgh Knights, they know this fight right now is happening between Jovi and the Unnamed, so it's just a waiting game for Pittsburgh Knights right now. They have all the advantages here, all 4 players, 6 kills so far. So right now, it's a calm before the storm, before all the shots erupt.
Yeah, I mean, the Knights definitely prioritizing that chicken dinner, which they should do. I mean, they definitely need the chicken dinner to boost them up these leaderboards compared to just an additional 3 kills. And like you mentioned, they are going to have the zone, and Sam going to be looking right down sights onto Bucky. The play zone taking out Ran, so that will be 1 point to 9. And it looks like Slump from Jovi able to out-survive those members from the Unnamed. Will be at least confirming the squad. The 7 kills alongside that second place finish, but it is not over yet. Going to be connecting onto one of them. Slump still alive, going for the jump. J7 having to swap weapons there. Oh man, our solo member almost ruined map number 1 for the Knights out here. Regardless, great start. Great start for Joey and the Knights.
I was laughing because Slump, he got the first knock on Sam, then he lost his helmet, right? And then he turned around and had two players from Pittsburgh Knights pushing on the right side, and then they were shooting at each other, and both of them needed to reload. That's why you saw that little pause right there, then they just
it was awkward.
It was like, we thought it was over, and then it's not quite over yet.
Did Slump get? I don't think Slump got the thirst though. That's the thing. I would have liked to have seen that there. Slump knocked out Sam, right, in the blue when Sam was jumping.
Yeah, I think in that circumstance, you know, you could go for the glorious potential 1v3, 1v4 sort of thing, but I think if you're, you know, logically speaking, you know a team like Pittsburgh Knights is about to push up on you, maybe just go for the knock and then just go for the thirst, at least confirming that one kill. And, you know, when we're on our last couple matches like this, sometimes the 1 point can make or break if your team will make the top 5.
I mean, hey, I gotta give it to him. Going out with the blaze of glory, getting that second place out here. So I'm gonna give them the chicken nuggets, and the Knights will be getting the game worn chicken dinner, and the unnamed gonna be getting just the mashed potatoes on the side. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 more games remaining. Erangel in the books. We will not be returning to that map here tonight. Don't go nowhere. Mustache Dave and Monica will be right back. Game 1 in the books. Erangel done. Heading on over to this sunny Miramar. We're a couple seconds away from having our players drop on into the game. We got Swifty from Nolan Clue out here playing a little bit of tag, but we did see those scores during the break. And after that, chicken dinner, steamy chicken, side of broccoli, side of corn, some butter. Pittsburgh Knights, woo, shooting on up leaderboard. They were in 11th place, now in 5th.
Yeah, that was a massive win for them. They that's where the points count. To get that chicken dinner, the scoring wise, it's 20 points for first place and 14 then 10, and then it kind of trickles down from there. So you really want to be able to last the last part of the game to get as many points as possible. So in Pittsburgh Knights jumping up that high, it kind of pushed a lot of these teams down lower. So such as a Space Station Gaming, they were in 7th place. Now they're in 9th place after going out pretty early as well. So, you know, it's good for Pittsburgh Knights, and then kind of bad for some of these teams, especially like Simplicity, who was in 5th place, and now they are down in 7th.
I mean, everybody out here just trying to eat, Monica. Everyone out here just trying to eat some chicken dinner. We got 3 more games to go. Hopefully those hungry players out there will have the opportunity to grab their meals here for the night and get that top 5 and make it on up to the offline event. We are going to be checking out the flight plan. Not too harsh on a couple of these squads. Some of these teams might opt to going for a long dropper. Maybe just hot drop, get a vehicle and send it up to the north where we've seen a loop before, like El Pozo and El Azahar.
Yeah, some of these teams that aren't going to have a very good drop spot is going to be Jovi. They go all the way up to Cruz de Valle, and then we have, let's see, we have The Unnamed usually going up to La Coberia, Abusement Park usually going to El Pozo, and same thing with X Gamer. They usually switch between El Pozo and La Coberia as well, so these players are going to have to find a car, find somewhere else to loot. But that first circle, wow, that's a big southeastern circle to start things off.
I mean, we did have the plane path kind of favor the south, give or take, so you would assume all these teams will be already down here looting on up. We are going to see a early possible engagement out here. I believe we saw what we got, like 4 teams in Los Leones, Wild Card, Prada, For Your Babies, and out there in the distance, Fears from Null.
The Unnamed, that was one of those teams that had a very, very far drop spot. So it looks like they stopped over onto the eastern side of the map now, and they found themselves right with Latinos Unidos, who usually go to El Azahar. So it looks like the Unnamed, they used to go to El Azahar. They're going back to their old stomping grounds. There are all 4 of them in this car, though. It's making me worry a little bit, but I don't think they'll find any team on the way to El Azahar now.
Checking out the Unnamed, they had a pretty decent game, number 1. All of them going to be making their way on in with this Marauder. We saw them doing a little bit of drive-by shooting out there. We are in the Wild Wild West, and looks like mistakes were made out here, but the revive was successful. Thankful for them, because game number 1 for Angry Babies, they lost 2 of their members extremely early. Not something you want to see, especially when you are trying to make the climb up these leaderboards with only 3 games to go. So you're kind of talking about it, Monica, with this flight plan. A lot of these teams not able to drop in their tried and true drop locations. In your opinion, how is that going to play a role in this game for them?
So it's going to, well, some of these teams that might not be so bad, because the circle, it is on the south side. So, you know, you're not going to have a team probably go all the way up north, like Jovi, like going all the way up to Cruz Valley just to come in very late to come back into the circle. So they, you know, they're able to find a different drop spot and find somewhere else to loot. But I think anytime when your team goes somewhere else, you kind of feel off for the rest of the game. You know, it's just like, whenever you play scrims, whenever you play games, we always go here. You know, the rotation's like the back of your hand, but then all of a sudden you drop somewhere else. It's like, oh, we have to come to the same spot a different way, or you might find yourselves rotating past different teams that you're not used to seeing in certain spots. So it's always just, you know, shakes things up just a little bit, and it might give some of these teams a really good advantage and some of these teams a really bad start for the game.
It's like sleeping in a new bed. You're gonna have a lot of toss and turn in the first night until your body can adjust.
This doesn't feel right.
It just doesn't feel right. Not only that, it's like they spend so many countless hours, you know, in scrims, most likely dropping in what a set location, maybe two different locations per
Mm-hmm.
map. So if they do have a flight planned, you know, that just doesn't favor both those locations, they're gonna be forced to go somewhere else. And you gotta combine that with the stress levels that are with the finals, especially if you're not a squad up there in the top five. Like the pressure is definitely maxed out. So hopefully we don't see teams kind of buckle underneath said pressure, and you know, everybody just has a solid game number two here.
A lot of these teams, they scrim against each other every single day for months and months and months, right? So it's a
Hmm.
lot of times when you as a team, say Universe 7 pulls up to a certain compound and they see a team over across the street at a different compound. They've played against these teams so many times, they already know. SSG, they always go there. Or Pittsburgh Knights, you always see them up on this ridge. So, you know, shaking it up like this, having people going to different drop spots, potentially finding a different first rotation into the circle, it's gonna affect a lot how this game is going to play out.
Definitely catch people off guard, catch me outside, as the kids would say out here. So checking out the leaderboards real quick, you know, this little scores going up and down. The unnamed will be in sixth place, Jovi in seventh after that win, Simplicity in eighth, Space Station in ninth. So a couple of these squads, at least according to the overall leaderboards, are gonna start sweating. Are gonna start sweating out here,
Mm-hmm.
especially the big names. I mean, the big names like Space Station. I mean, I know they're probably one of the only teams that actually are like in the same room together. I like, how does that play out? I mean, I can only imagine like the letdown if they don't make it. Oh man, I don't want to think like that, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, Space Station Gaming yesterday, their best game was fourth place with 4 kills, and then they got a seventh, they got a ninth, and they got a 15th place. So they were pretty much in the same boat as Pittsburgh Knights was before the first game of today. They definitely have a lot to prove. They did so well in the spring. They were literally the number one team in North America last spring in PUBG Mobile Club Open. They went to
Hmm.
Berlin. They went all the way to the finals to compete against all the international teams. And then last split in the fall, they only made top six. So in last split, it was a little bit different. Here we see top five going on to PUBG Mobile Pro League, and this time around it's only top, or then and now it's top five that make it. So they just barely missed the cutoff to make it to Malaysia.
Talking about cutoffs out here, Versace with the Scar trying to cut off Fugazi's pathway right now. Fugazi going to be rotating on in with that van out there in the distance. Versace going to be hitting the dirt, trying to get a little more accuracy out there, but it looks like Fugazi able to make their way on over this hill. The
Give him
bus
slow.
strikes back once again.
Yeah, that bus, it's one of the slowest vehicles on Miramar, but it definitely provides you a lot of cover. That just the bullets, it's very hard to penetrate that
It's
bus.
a tank.
It's
It's
a
a
tank,
tank.
literally a tank.
Jake the Tank. That's what they call me on Miramar when I'm in the bus. They just totally changed up my name. It's not even Dave. It's just Jake the Tank.
Tank the tank.
So, 4 Angry Babies still gonna be in this game. 4 members alive. We only lost 2 members throughout the entirety of the past 8 minutes. So nothing popping off too bad. We might see Jovi find themselves in a pickle up there in the north. Looks like they are going to be rotating on in right near HQA. And not only that, the unnamed are going to be hot on their trail. So we will have to pay attention to kill feed. Jovi looking to make the come up, looking to make 2020 a great year for that squad here. Hopefully they don't get called out in rotation. We do hear shots now starting to erupt out in the distance.
Yeah, the unnamed and Jovi, two of probably the top one or two teams that are currently unsigned in North America. So if you're an org looking to jump in on the PUBG Mobile action, those are two teams to definitely look at. Jovi, they're currently in 7th place, and the unnamed in 6th. They're actually tied in points, actually. They're literally tied right now. They have the same number of kills and same number of points. So tied for 6th place, the unnamed and Jovi.
I mean, that's always been a hot debate for me, at least. Like, I feel like if you're an org and you didn't want me before, but now you want me because I'm hot, like, I'm going to just stick to myself and try to get all that money for myself. I know there's arguments, there's pros and cons, and, you know, a lot of people get into it with me. Well, what about the set salary per month and all that stuff? I'm just like, if you're Jovi, you qualify, try to win the whole thing. I mean, this life-changing money at the end of the event. Not only that, I tend to see, at least from my experience, teams in their situation that do qualify for these big lands, once when they get signed, the dynamic of the squad kind of changes because now there's outside pressure to perform for the org, or else you're going to get dropped from the org. So, you know, personal experience, I think just stay with what you got. They got you this far, and try to win the big prize at the end and just split that among your 4 to 5 people who have been with you since day one.
Definitely. So now we see Singularity. They're just holding up a little bit more center. So they're just down the road from Picado. Usually Singularity, they land kind of graveyard over there. So it wasn't too big of a rotation for them. Right now, Singularity, the closest team, Singularity and Simplicity, they're kind of on opposite sides of the road from each other, and they're going to be dead center in this phase 2. And we're just kind of waiting for the blue zone to close now to see where these teams are going to be forced to go. Tribe, they're just in Chumacera. You see this all the time. They loot up Chumacera, and then they come up onto this church just to the east of Chumacera. You see them there all the time when the circle's down in this area of Miramar. So it's just kind of, again, what I said before, sometimes you just know when you see a team over there that's 100% that's Tribe, because they always go there every single time.
When you know, Monica. And we are going to see some fights start to erupt here very shortly. Remember, I mentioned Jovi are going to be making some rotates up there in the north. They are going to be in the power grid area. It looks like they are going to be crashing it on the mini map, and HQA trying to defend, but they're still going to be, taking a look, an overview of Prada from their turret's position, just taking some pot shots out there in the distance. I mean, things are starting to heat up here on the Miramar map. Mark my words. Hopefully these teams got enough water to quench their thirst.
You're gonna definitely need some water in this dry, arid weather. Looks like Prada now flipping around. Rutron Kyle seeing that 4 Angry Babies is just down to the hill over there. Looks like we got another engagement over here. Pittsburgh Knights had Ralphino YouTube, the leader of his team. I think he pulled up. He was trying to scout out, find a good spot for the rest of his team to join him with. The Pittsburgh Knights was already there up on top, and they're gonna take that kill.
I mean, such a tough scout too. I mean, you're going uphill with the buggy, making so much noise. Like the Knights, they were just ready for that. They were just ready for that free kill out there.
Yeah, it's just these teams. You want to have a scout because you don't want to have your full team just let's all rotate there. Losing that one player, it's a hell of a lot better than the alternative, which is having all 4 of your players up and not being prepared to take the 4v4 and potentially losing the entirety of your team.
I'm looking around real quick. We are going to have the next circle pop here in just a moment. Early game Miramar to be expected, especially on the final day. A lot of teams will be turning up that knob for Max Tryhard out here. It looks like we are going to have an interesting shift heading up there to the north. HQA, Jovi, SNG will be finding themselves in quite a favorable position. Even the unnamed over there, just north of Jovi. But most of the lobby down here in the south already making the great migration out here, all in their vehicles, ready to reposition. And we're going to start to see some drive-bys. We're going to start to see some action.
Yeah, Jovi, they were kind of complaining yesterday about how they had screenshots from every single map, that they got hard shifted on every single map yesterday. So right now, they're very delighted with the circle. They finally have a pretty good spot. They're on the uncongested side, the north side of the circle up in Power Grid, but the unnamed is still just right next to them. Now we have Simplicity. They were just holding up a little bit closer. Prada as well. They just made it in the circle, and that's going to be Fugazi, but they have Tribe just on the other side, and their Tribe is definitely looking for a way to get in. They might have their eyesights on them.
I mean, yesterday, Tribe, I feel like they were a little more aggressive compared to when we saw them in the semifinals. I mean, coming into this match, at least, they're sitting at around 32 kills in total, and that's about even with their total placement points, 33. So they're going to find themselves in that 3rd place position. And like you mentioned, it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to play this one out. They're going to be right down there in the southern end of the zone. And Versace still being a pain in everybody's butt out here on this Miramar map with that Scar. We'll be taking some shots out there in the distance onto Survival from Abusement Park, who also, unfortunate for them, just happened to be rotating on right into the Knights.
I'll say kudos to Survival, though. I thought he was done for because Universe 7 tagged him up so low, and then I could see Pittsburgh Knights overlooking the hill, all four of them kind of having eyesights on him. So Survival at least going out by knocking and finishing off Sam. So at least collecting that 1 point and then kind of ruining the game for Pittsburgh Knights now. They are only going to have 3 to go into the late stages of this game. Right now we have Abusing Part Richie. It's only Richie and it's only Aztec Roth now left alive from their team. And they're pretty split up right now. So both of them still need to find some way to get in. Richie just kind of spinning around right now.
1 point. All you need here to just maintain points on the leaderboard, at least boost those stats. Wildcard are going to be out there in the distance. Going to be taking some blue damage, and 4 Angry Babies losing Pretender, that is, early into this match. Will have 1 kill underneath their belt as well. Looking like they are going to be just straight up sending it in this buggy, trying to reposition with their squad mate out there in the distance. Everybody waiting for this next circle.
Yeah, it looks like Pittsburgh Knights, the fight isn't over yet. We still have Aztec Roth. He wants to disengage. He wants to get out of this situation because he knows Pittsburgh Knights is all right around him, and he's in the blue zone right now. So this is the beauty of playing more edge. You can more easily back up. But now flipping over to 4 Angry Babies on the edge, we have Null still out in the blue zone. I think with 2 knocked right now. So Swifty and Fears just not in a great position. They need to heal up. This saving grace though. Looks like Prada from the sideline is going to be holding up their attention and taking some shots at them as well.
Yeah, so unlucky for Null. They're going to be getting shot from Prada. They're going to be getting shot from 4 Angry Babies. Everybody just trying to get a piece of them in this match number 2 of the evening. Get some points for themselves. And 4 Angry Babies are spending a lot of time on this one. Hopefully it pays off for them. Time will be connecting onto Swifty. They're going to be right there on the edge. But we did see a next circle pop. That's my fear, is that with all the time that 4 Angry Babies are spending right now on the edge, it's time lost in their rotations, and the majority of the lobby will already be set up, ready to go. Might catch them off guard. We are going to see them start to make that push right now. Talking about the new circle, HQA right in the middle, SNG right in the middle, SSG also in the middle.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to play with in this circle. There's just a couple little compounds, just a little kind of structures in that open field. Other than that, it's just kind of very big mountainsides, and Helping Quit Addiction, this is one of their favorite maps to play. They're so good at it. You can see every single time we see them in Miramar, they have this really high, perfect upper angle looking at all these teams down below them. Right now, Space Station Game, they need to be careful of that warehouse because it is open ceilings there that Chihuahua with that K9 could potentially shoot down if they expose themselves.
I feel like HQA, they love these high ground vantage points on Miramar. Not only that, every single Miramar map that I can recall, and they have the opportunity to do something like this, they're always spread out. They're always making sure that they're covering as much terrain as possible. I feel like Miramar is definitely one of their strong suits for them to get up there on that vantage and just kind of play that sniper battle here. And it's been working out for them.
Yeah, it's because they land in San Martinez, pretty much dead center in the middle of the map. So they have really nice rotations to get up on those mountains before anyone else can come to take those spots away from them. Looks like Simplicity Irish now hitting that knock onto 4AB, and Prada now just not in a good spot. Richie, he fell out of his car, but Prada Canary, you just saw him go out, and yeah, Helping Quit Addiction just kind of the kings of the hill right now, watching all the chaos ensure below them.
I mean, I say sniper, but they're using red dots.
Yeah.
Point is, though, they're out there. They're making sure to inflict as much damage as possible on everybody. Tribe going to be out here in the smokes. Going to be outside the zone here, getting pinned down by multiple teams. Remember, Tribe are looking to remain consistent here tonight just to stay in their top 3 position on the overall leaderboards. Prada also find themselves in a couple engagements here tonight on map number 2. Unfortunate for them, no kills so far. They're just having the worst of times here, getting pinned down right now. Looks like the 4 members of Tribe are looking to sandwich them, looking to collapse. And the last stand right now from the team, Prada, they're going out with a bang.
This is a very unorganized push from Tribe trying to get up onto Prada. It's only 2 players from Prada, but they kind of push up one by one. Memo got knocked, he got finished. Epic and C both got knocked as well. So now it's only King A left standing, and it should have been a very easy cleanup for them. So now Wuchang Krao from Prada, he's going to be the last one left standing from his team with just a little bit of health. Why isn't he healing right now? He's just not even
looking
moving.
at the Godzilla. He's scared of the Godzilla. He's just admiring that.
Not
I'm
even
actually
moving.
admiring that as well. I kind of need to cop that. Not gonna lie.
I need that.
You got that? You got the Godzilla?
Yeah, I do.
Oh man, I'm jealous now. Epic gonna be tossing out some grenades out there. Getting chunked down in the process as well. Remember, HQA all the way up there on the high ground, they've been taking shots. You can see them. You can see them all the way up there on the cliffs. They've been taking shots on all these fights out here. Ooh, AZ will be connected on it. That's my fear. I mean, they got a soft 2-2 split going on, so they should be able to get the revive on their squad mate. We see Heartless out there in the distance, but Tribe pinned down for the time being. They did actually end up getting those final kills, and it looks like they're all going to be hopping in the bus, going for a nice joyride here.
Time to go back to school. All right, up on top over here, looks like they got the revive onto AZ. That's the good part about being that high. If you get knocked, there's no one else. There's no one there that can third party you or finish off the kill. So they're able to get that revive pretty easily. Now Tribe, King A, Epic, they all go down. Oh my, I think they were trying to do that drive-by in the bus, trying to get in, but now it's going to only be Siga left standing. He's quickly trying to get that revive onto Epic.
And you know what, we saw and we mentioned the bus from the Knights. They only have 2 members left, so we still have 12 teams remaining. Remember, they just managed to bridge the gap and make it into the top 5, currently in 4th place on the overall leaderboards. They definitely don't want to throw that one away. They don't want to make it more difficult for themselves coming into the final 2 games of the evening. Tribe will be taking some fatalities to the blue zone. Same thing with the Knights in the kill feed. And I think that might be it for the Knights. They might have gotten scuffed out there in the blue, but we are going to be checking out Space Station Gaming right now. They are going to have 4 members live there. The hot defense right now from Universe 7, Versace in the front lines trying to make the push onto Shifan.
Yeah, Space Station Gaming, they're currently in 9th place going into the second game today of the finals. They only have this game and 2 more after that to rack up as many kills as possible. They need to be in that top 5, and right now they're only 15 points below 5th place. So it is doable. It's totally doable. It's within reach. They just need to rack up as many kills as possible, get into the late stages as they can, and get as many placement points as possible.
The pre-fire through the smokes. I mean, just trying to connect any shot possible here. You love to see it. It works. I want to say 9 out of 10 times. Angry Chiefing gonna be tossing out some mollies, some grenades out there, and Versace will be taking some blue damage and weren't able to heal up in time. Chiefin is gonna be laughing at that in the kill feed, but you know what? They want to get this kill, so if they got any more grenades, I would like to see them toss down over there, but they got bigger fish to fry. They're going to be trying to get that solo member. Meanwhile, we do see the next zone pop up. Jovi, they have been straight up chilling on the edge. Here they are right now. They are going to have 3 alive. They lost Gabby pretty early on, and we are going to see Caitlyn get knocked, so they want to play it a little more passive and just use their high ground to their advantage, but it looks like the Unnamed are trying to push onto this actually, and now it's just down to Slump to defend, and they gotta defend against 4 members of the Unnamed.
Oh, did we get that?
Oh, the grenade!
Almost got him. He gets so low. He's only 10% health. They know that the Unnamed. First of all, they need a reset, and they get the revive onto Rand. Let their last player or one of their players get their health as high as possible. So Slump, he needs to take that time as well. But unfortunately for him, he was just cut out. I think he was trying to throw a smoke, trying to buy his team some more time, but wasn't able to do it.
And you know what? Universe 7, Asen still alive down there, pinned down by Space Station, but Space Station focusing on positioning right now. Going to be hearing that fight between Jovi and the Unnamed, and going to be trying to take advantage of this, assuming the Unnamed were inflicted with some type of damage. Healing on up over here. Looks like grenades are going to be ringing on out from Lucas as Juicy in the front lines looking to be the aggressor in this fight. There's a grenade going right over the heads of the 3 members down here in Space Station Gaming. This is a huge fight for positioning right now.
Yeah, Space Station Gaming, the Unnamed, both of them, they're just neck and neck trying to vie for that 5th place spot. Lucas, he throws another grenade. They've just been raining down grenades right now. None of them have really landed on Space Station Gaming. Just doing a little bit of damage, but not really being able to get a knock. It looks like we saw Universe 7, the last player was Asan. Space Station Gaming able to flush him out. So SSG sitting now with at least a top 3 finish and 4 kills so far. Looks like Doc now flipping over and taking out Heartless from helping quit addiction. So now now. It's just Simplicity, The Unnamed, and Space Station Gaming left.
Yeah, and you know what? Just checking out the leaderboards real quick. The Unnamed, they were about 3 to 4 points outside of that top 5. Simplicity right underneath the Unnamed, and then Space Station in 9th place. So this is a monumental game for all 3 of these squads. Depending on who gets the chicken dinner, they should be able to breach that gap into the top 5 for the first time of the evening. And you know what? They're only gonna have 2 more games to go to just kind of hold on to their lead and just stay up there in that top 5. But Lucas going to be raining down hell right now onto the members of Space Station. Space Station going to be getting picked apart, but here comes Simplicity with the third party right now, trying to get involved.
Simplicity, they're known for their third parties. They were just watching from afar as Space Station Gaming was getting taken apart by the Unnamed. So now the Unnamed, they're getting knocked as well. Lucas, he is down, so they need to reset. And then Simplicity, you know, they're just watching. They're trying to gather more information, but they definitely want the chicken dinner. Right now, we have the Unnamed with the best positioning in this circle.
Space Station down to 2, Angry with 3 kills, Beach no kills. Looking at both those members very briefly, they're extremely low. Lucas not trying to let Space Station out of their sights. We'll be finishing them off with the final blow, and now it's just going to be Simplicity against the Unnamed. The Unnamed having a pretty solid game number 1 here tonight, trying to make the come up, trying to get the chicken dinner. Looks like Simplicity are down to 3 members, and the revive is going to be successful on the end of the Unnamed.
Yeah, Simplicity, they lost Irish. He's their IGL. He was the one you saw clutching 2 different games, I think, back in the semifinals. So definitely their MVP. Looks like the Unnamed now. They just need to be defensive as Simplicity. They need to push in. They're just a little bit further below him. Lolo gets that knock with a grenade and just taking out so many players from the Unnamed. He's pushing up a little bit closer now. And they know that it's going to be very, very few players left. So just like that, it was over in a second. And Simplicity, they just pushed up a little bit closer and was able to confirm that chicken dinner with 14 kills.
The suppressed pea shooters out here, you just don't know where you're getting shot from, which angle. I mean, Simplicity kind of splitting up there at the end. Russell definitely, you know, popping off here tonight so far. Game number 1, we saw him with the DP just getting knock after knock after knock, and it looks like game number 2, they were getting the knocks and the flushes out here. Going to have 7 kills to themselves. Huge game. I mean, coming into this, they were in 7th place, 44 points. They had 21 kills and 23 placement points altogether, so kind of evening out. But this chicken dinner is definitely going to set them up. I wouldn't be surprised if also the Unnamed get bumped up into top 5 as well, because they're in 6th place. Now, the thing is, Space Station, only 4 kills, so they're going to be cutting it really close. Jovi getting taken out pretty early this game. Not early, but, you know, 6th place. They're going to be losing a couple points on the overall leaderboard when it comes to how much they have to climb their way on up to that top 5. But Monica, 2 more games to go. Top 5 is closer than ever if you're not counting 1st place.
Yeah, this is where the teams are gonna starting to sweat a little bit. It's you know, at the beginning of the day, it was very, we saw 4 games, we can make, we can make a good show, get some good points, and we can get up in that top 5. Now, if you're a team that had 2 pretty bad games, you're thinking, oh, now it's getting very, very intense. Your palms are starting to sweat, your heart's starting to beat a little bit faster, you're getting a little bit more nervous. So hopefully that doesn't affect their gameplay.
Well, talking about gameplay, we're gonna be right back with game number 3. So don't go nowhere if you want to check out the gameplay. finish the night. They have a position tonight, but they just got bumped down on that top 5 position on the overall leaderboard. That's how close it is. SMG is going to be in 6th place, Drive in 5th place, Your Name in 4th, Simplicity in 3rd, H2A in 2nd, and of course Wildcard still 1st.
Yeah, it's cool. Wildcard is helping prediction. They are feeling very, very good about themselves right now. We have this, main side, they're all like that between all of them. It's just really anyone's game. Anyone could just frag out a little bit more than another team and do place a little bit better than another, and then they can just jump right on over them. I'm excited. Are you excited, Dave?
I'm excited, but I do believe, I want to say yet, just looking at the support chat, I think we might have to send it to a quick commercial break, Monica, while the lobby gets remade.
Oh, no.
I guess there was an issue here. And we'll make sure to have these scores up for everybody so they can calculate all their points that they need to acquire and such for their squads here.
Yeah, it looks like
right, so,
one person was in the wrong slot, so unfortunately.
So we'll be right back. We'll let you chill with the scores. welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the third map of the evening. Let's have our fingers crossed that all the players are in their specific team slots and not trying to steal any strategies from other squads. I'm Mustache Dave _ on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you drop that follow. You know you want to. And then, of course, go follow Monica. Where can they find you, Monica?
Most active on Twitter, Monica with 2 A's _ gaming.
Easy. So just like that, we saw the scores on the break. We were lightly mentioning all the shakeups on the overall leaderboards, and honestly, how close they are. I mean, the Knights, they're going to be in 7th place with a chicken dinner, and if we look at the unnamed and say 4th place, they're only 13 points apart. So honestly, with 2 more games to go, anyone could take the spot, and that's what you love to see here.
Yeah, I think we said it a couple days ago. I wanted to see kind of a more spread out scoring, in terms of that there wouldn't be just, all top 5 would just be, like so ahead of the pack that nobody could catch up with them. But now we have pretty much wildcard, Helping Quit Addiction, top 1 and 2, pretty much solidified, and then it's kind of anyone's game for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. So these teams that currently have their spots in 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they really need to just play very consistently for the last 2 matches of today to hold on to those spots. And everyone who is bottom 5 needs to just play so
out of their minds.
Yeah, just out of their mind. Yeah, literally out of their minds. This is it. Go big or go home right now.
I mean, honestly, game number 1, I feel like the Knights were kind of doing just that. They're cranking up the aggression from their side, and it definitely paid off. And then game number 2, of course, we saw what happened there. Unfortunate for them, they did get bumped down that top 5 for the time being, but like we mentioned, 2 more games to go. They're so close they could almost grab it. It's gonna come down to the last game, I guarantee it. Not if you are HQA or wildcard. All you really need to do is just show up in these games and get somewhat decent placement points, and you shouldn't have too much to worry about. We are going to be checking out wildcard right now. It will not be contested at the current time.
Yeah, when you get to these late stages like this, and if you're in 6th place, right, and you want to get into the top 5, you don't really try to drop. Wildcard is so above the pack. Even if they drop on them and they take wildcard out, it's not really going to affect them as much, because wildcard they can afford to not get as many points. They'll still be number 1 no matter what. You really want to go for, if you are say this was the last match, if you were Team Singularity and you are 8 points behind Tribe Gaming, that's in 5th place right now, you'd want to drop on Tribe, and you want to ruin their game, or at least cripple them. So if you can take away their players, make sure that Tribe doesn't have a very good game, and then you yourself can have that really great game, that's going to be your best bet to jump up into the top 5.
The question is, will these teams attempt to do just that? Well, you know what? With 2 games remaining, they don't have many options. Like, it's do or die, honestly. We're going to be checking out Simplicity out here, as we mentioned, able to secure themselves a 3rd place in that last game. And for the most part, in circle number 1, everybody's going to be free and clear of one another. As I say that, one of the members from Prada are going to be pulling up onto X Gamer right now, and X Gamer are going to find themselves in the 15th position on the overall leaderboard. Meanwhile, Prada in the 13th. So Prada most likely going to be looking for a engagement here to possibly get some kills underneath their belt and crank up the aggression and start racking up as many points right now.
Yeah, there goes the knock and the finish on to Maniac by Ralphino. Up on the hillside, he catches Canary a little bit too exposed, and Kais is able to get the flush. So X Gamer now confirming that 1 kill. They lost 1 in the process, and I think they're just going to back up at this point, and they don't want to engage further. Right now, X Gamer, they are 15th. Right now, it's going to be a long stretch for them to try. It might be impossible at this point, but they would just need to just absolutely, like you said, play out of their minds this game and the next.
Yeah, and you know what? It's definitely a possibility. It 100% is. So, whatever they did to get themselves up to this current time, just to be top 16 and have the opportunity here in finals, like, something along the line worked for them. So I like to see that once again in these final 2 maps, and just, give it all you got. Give us the heart we saw in the kill feed. We are starting to see some early aggression.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights. That's the one team that I wanted to see do a little bit better going in the finals. They had a pretty lackluster performance yesterday. They got the win on the first game of today, but other teams, they've been able to place higher than them. And right now, I think Pittsburgh Knights, they're only 7th place right now, and they're losing members left and right.
Yeah, not something you want to see from the Knights, especially as they are, like we mentioned, just a couple points right outside of that top 5. But over here, SNG going to be squaring off with Abusement Park. Abusement Park have been doing such a great job, in my opinion, over the past couple of days. But they are going to find themselves at the very bottom of the barrel right now. So this is a huge fight for them if they can come out on top of SNG. And it looks like Minu recognizing the situation, the danger right now. They don't want to throw it all down the drain, and there's only 2 more games to go. They need to have their members alive to go for those placement points. Kabo will be connecting out there in the distance with the M4 and going to be hitting that retreat button, just straight up trying to get on out of dodge right now.
I was really impressed by Aztec Roth just now. He got 2 members down from Team Singularity, and they were able to collect those kills for Abusement Park. But Singularity now, they have to keep in mind that there's somebody else off in the distance. That's going to be Latinos Unidos, Kira, Revo, and Gabriel with eyesights on this fight. So they're hoping to third party or be able to take some points and add to their tally, because Latinos Unidos, they're in 14th place right now.
Yeah, and I know they have a ton of fans in the comments, in the chat, just nonstop rooting for them. So 2 more games to go. Let's hope they can just pull it through. By the way, let us know in the chat if you want. We won't call you out, but your top 5. I mean, Wildcard, HQA, they're gonna already be up there. So really, who do you think is gonna have the opportunity to be in 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the end of tonight? I'm always interested to see who the fans are rooting for, who the fans are really pulling for, and who they believe in. And it looks like, as we mentioned, Monica, the Knights are going to be down to only 2 members. That is going to set them back so far here. You hate to see it. Hopefully they can just continue to survive, but X Gamer, they might not allow it.
Yeah, not only are they playing at 50% capacity, only having two shooters, right, to shoot at different players to collect those kills. When you're down to only 2 players like that, you're not going to be engaging in these full 4-on-4 fights. You're just at such a big disadvantage right now. Raven and his teammate, they just need to play passive. They can't afford to lose one, because then it's just going to be one snake in the grass until the very end. So J7, he's the co-IGL. He's going to calling the shots, and he's going to say, if they push, we're going to run.
You got to do what you got to do. I respect it at all costs. Just trying to survive and get some points. You definitely don't want to be taken out in 16th place, especially after such an amazing run in the first 2 games of the evening. You're going to be checking out X Gamers still. They are going to be just east of Quarry, right there at the tip. Probably going to be out there in the distance as well. Looking around, HQA going to be making the way on up, mainly near Paradise. I'm also trying to check out, see Wildcard also going for a rotate. They're kind of split up for the time being. I'm trying to see if we should expect any more fights to kind of erupt right now in the early game. And all the teams are kind of going to be in the circle for the time being.
Yeah, I think we see down in the southeast side, Singularity. Remember, they lost to earlier in the match to Abusement Park. In Universe 7, now, they land over in Lakawi, and they pulled down. They have no information. They didn't know that this fight was happening here. They think this is completely clear compounds in Team Singularity. They can hear all 4 sets of footsteps. Universe 7, they're about to run right on top of Singularity, and Minwoo announces their presence, getting the first knock onto Versace from Universe 7. So Minwoo and Kebo now with 3 players knocking on there. You see that grenade come out, trying to get him in, getting in the corner, gets the first knock onto one on literally 1 HP. There's 1 more person in the corner. He gets the knock onto him. He should have waited for the teammates to come and give him a little bit more support. But right now, Singularity, Minwoo, last one left standing, trying to get the reset, getting the revive on Kebo, while Universe 7, Asun doing the exact same thing to Versace. So can Singularity Minwoo just buy a little bit more time? He hears the footsteps now. going for that flush, collecting that one kill. But he's coming around the edge, he's coming around the backside. The fight is still happening. Asun gets a knock on Nikebo and goes for the immediate thirst. So Minwoo, he just saw him in the corner right there. He pops in and takes him out. But Universe 7 going down at pretty much the exact same time to Abusement Park up on the hill, cleaning up that fight very, very nicely.
Huge right there.
Wow.
The trades right there. Insane. You hate to see it if you are SNG. That is going to open it up for all these other teams hot on their tracks to overtake them on the overall leaderboards. Coming into this game, SNG 6th place. They were only 8 points behind, kind of breaching that top 5 gap. And you know what? They're going to be biting the bullet here on the 3rd map, but they will have one more map to go. We're going to be checking out the circle. A lot of action. A lot of teams will be currently occupying the west side of this circle right there. Abusement Park though at the end, and the final laugh, that was beautiful. Kabo just trying to defend themselves, and you know what, this is going to be good for the Knights. Remember, the Knights only have 2 alive, so they are going to be pulling back out there to the east, and most likely going to play edge, play safe as possible right now. And just in case you are just tuning in, saw a couple people in the chat in the comments questioning, we had a remake. This is game number 3. We're currently 11 minutes into it. So thanks for tuning on in. Hopefully you understand. We will have one more game after this, and then we'll see the scores, and pretty much top 5, they get to go to the LAN.
Yeah, if you are a team that was right around Team Singularity, these teams are hyper aware of what teams are right next to them in the standings. So try breathing kind of a sigh of relief. They're only 8 points ahead of Singularity. Pittsburgh Knights and Jovi getting excited now because they were only 2 and 3 points below Singularity. So this when they have a team like that that's right next to them and they go out this early, going out in, what was it, 16th position? Was it 16th?
Yeah.
Going out in 16th. That's huge news for them.
I mean, worst case scenario for them, of course, but for the other squads, they're loving it. And talking about the other teams, super close. Can almost taste that top 5 position as well. We saw just for a moment there, Space Station Gaming. Unfortunate for them, they will be already down a member on their side. And looking around, the circle is going to be closing on in. A lot of teams already in somewhat of a centralized position. We shall see if we do have any type of hard shifts, kind of throw some spice into this game as we are in our final Sandhawk map of the finals. We do see Tribe down there, Camp Charlie, the unnamed, coming up behind them, and we're still going to be paying attention to 4 angry babies right now. 1 kill, 4 players alive so far.
Yeah, I think that 1 kill for them was on Space Station Gaming before, because Space Station Gaming was just down the hill from them. So 4 Angry Babies. Also, there's a crate about to land right behind them. It's got a perfect M249 level 3 kit and everything for them. So if they do decide to go get it, it's pretty much free for them to grab. There's no other team in the general vicinity. They could use that very, very well into the match. So Helping Quit Addiction, they made a huge rotation. They landed all the way up in Ha Ting, and then they rotated. This where they are right now. This is right where Universe 7 dropped over on the northeast part of the map. So they made a massive rotation up on the northern side of the island and finally made their way down here. So they use those car spawns in Ha Ting. There's overall on Sandhawk, there's not a lot of cars to be had, or there's just really small.
They're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, you know? they're
literally, they're pulling out all the stops. They're just trying to maybe, you know, outmaneuver the enemies, outthink them here, and not get called out on their rotation, which is really smart. They have a lot riding on the line right now, currently in 2nd place on the overall leaderboards with only 2 more games to go. I can only imagine the pressure and how high it is right now for the squad. They have been working tirelessly over the past couple weeks to make sure that they can compete at the top of the levels here, and so far they have been putting on quite the show. Another team that recently just breached that gap, currently in 4th place, the unnamed, going to be down there in the south. And we do see that next circle. Monica, Jovi, going to be out there in the west. As I mentioned, the unnamed down there in the south near Tribe, Abusement Park, and Knoll. Things are looking to get spicy as all these teams are going to start to make their push on in from the east side.
Yeah, this is the very similar circle that we had last night in Sandhawk. Remember, it landed kind of right where Jovi was, just to the north side of Pai Nan. right now these teams are all coming over. You know, this is deja vu for them. This is kind of the similar rotations that they had yesterday. So they need to find a foothold in this circle and hope they get blessed with zone. Looks like Q from across the way getting tagged up, and Fear is getting the first knock onto Q.
Everyone looking to just get that circle blessing. Unfortunate, not everybody will have the opportunity. We've seen the kill feed. The Knights are going to be connecting onto a couple members of LTU, trying to get the third party at least, because looks like Latinos Unidos will be having to defend their current position against HQA as well. We were just kind of complimenting HQA on their rotations, but as we saw, that circle going to be hard shifting all the way out there to the west, so they are going to be forced to push their way on in and fight their way on in through these teams and doing everything in their power not to get taken out this early on within this game number 3 of the evening. Currently trying to defend their second place spot on the overall leaderboards. Looks like Rebo going to be using this opportunity to disengage. Will they be able to get away in time? That's the question.
Yeah, I think they were all trying to get away from there, and then that knock onto Kira kind of stalled their escape out of there. You know, kind of second guessing, should we go for the revive? Remember, Kira was the one who got 10 out of 12 kills during their Sandhawk win in the semifinals. So that's a huge loss for Latinos Unidos. So right now we got a lot of teams kind of around in the quarry area, HQA just overlooking, and just on the other side we have Pittsburgh Knights. Remember, the 2 players left from their team right next to X Gamer. So Chi Wong, I think they're just still, they know that Latinos Unidos couldn't have gotten too far away, so they're just trying to rack up a couple more kills, potentially get a couple more points. Over here on this side of the map, looks like the Unnamed suffered a couple casualties, but they're able to get ran back up.
Yeah, looking around though, just a little bit, there were rumors on the streets that Simplicity had a young Bayo on their squad, aka Russell. I know the chat was kind of joking around with that, so Russell's been popping off all night long. Hopefully we'll see some more action from that particular player, but we're going to be checking out HQA, going to be continuing to connect their shots out there in the distance and rack up as many kills as possible. Abusement Park down to only 2 members. They've been down to 2 members for some time right now. They are just trying to inflict as much damage as possible as well and get as many points, and they're going to be looking at HQA finally able to find themselves somewhat of a hard cover here right on the edge of this new circle, but they are going to be pinned down by the 2 members, the duo of Abusement Park. So we'll see where this next circle goes. It is going to be a couple moments. Jovi going to be occupying Pai Nam. Just underneath them, the Unnamed, 2 big names looking to be in that top 5 here.
Yeah, so just slowly coming on in. These teams, they're just kind of feeling each other out. They don't want to get in an all-out brawl yet, because they still need to rotate into the circle. So we're just all kind of waiting for it. Right now we have Helping Quit Addiction, and like you said, those 2 last players from Abusement Park just on the edge. They're currently outside the circle though, because the circle did shift over onto Pai Nan, and on the southern side now. So the Unnamed having the perfect spot in the circle right in the middle with all the bridge control to anyone who wants to cross over. Looks like Abusement Park seeing Helping Quit Addiction rolling down the street trying to rotate into the circle. Looks like Richie does get knocked, however, so right now it's only 1 player left standing from Abusement Park, but he does get taken out.
They're gonna be running. They're gonna be running.
He needs to
They
run.
don't want to take the fight. They don't want to take the fight, especially with recognizing where the next circle goes. They have bigger fish to fry, and looks like they're actually going to be popping back, trying to maybe get a couple cheeky shots out there onto HQA, but it looks like HQA are going to be currently hopping on into that 2-seater bike, trying to get on out of here as quickly as possible, because the next circle did pop. Jovi will be in it. The Unnamed right smack in the middle. We are going to see Null on the coast looking to possibly gatekeep all these squads making their way on in from the east, like 4 Angry Babies, X Gamers, HQA, AP, and the Knights. So have to pay attention to kill feed, and we were just talking about them. 4 Angry Babies still running strong in this map, so on the edge right now of this new circle.
We missed it, but Simplicity took out Space Asian Gaming just now. So Space Asian Gaming, they needed monster games, this Sandhawk and the Vikendi match after this one, and they just went out in, I think, 13th position. That's a hard
I mean, they're gonna need the best game ever in the final map if they want to qualify, pretty much. I mean, coming into this game, Space Station, they're in 9th place with 46 points. to their name. And if they want to breach top 5, I mean, that's not even counting the points that these teams will get this game. They were 22 points behind. 22 points.
Yeah, it's just digging themselves into a deeper and deeper hole at this point. So over here we have the circle. It's closing now. 4 Angry Babies. They had the center. They're pretty spread out, but now only one player from their team, Time, is within the circle, and X Gamer just on the backside of where 4 Angry Babies were. So they're just kind of holding up and taking their attention away from getting in the circle. Over here onto Painan, we have Jovi. They're just on the edge. They're within the circle. They have the hard covers. Simplicity. They're all spread out on the edge as well.
Everybody gonna be playing the edge. Pretender, the snake in the grass right here. We were talking about 4 Angry Babies earlier, trying to set up to possibly gatekeep these teams out there in the east. We'll be finding their first victims. X Gamers trying to make their way on in. Alucard still gonna be alive. Time still alive from the squad of 4 Angry Babies. And next circle did pop up, and it once again will be favoring the west side. And we're gonna need to pay close attention to this town right now. Just the southern end of Painan. We're gonna have Wildcard. We're gonna have Jovi. We're gonna have Simplicity. 3 teams right now gonna be occupying this city. And what? Zeus just got 2 crates. Okay.
Okay.
I see you. There's 2 crates right on top of each other.
Playing favorites at this point. This is a really interesting circle because it's probably going to shift away from Painan, and then Wildcard Acer, he tried to get across, he got knocked in the process, but Jovi, we're going to have Jovi and Simplicity, they need to take each other out to advance further into this game. And you see in the background Simplicity, they're running right on to Jovi right now, trying to force a fight, but we see some shots exchanging back and forth. Russell and Lolo taking a little bit of damage, but they're going to be in the compound right next to it, and Gabby gets knocked. It's going to be the first knock in this engagement between Simplicity and Jovi.
Looking around, Slicky out here in the distance, trying to connect on to the members of the X Gamers, racking up some points as well. Only 1 kill so far underneath the wild card team, and they're going to be just in the northeast side of Painan, on the opposite end of the river, when looking at Simplicity and Jovi. And Slump once again find themselves in a standoff, almost a 1v3. They will still have that support from their squad mates out there in the distance. We see the mollies starting to erupt over here. Russell, 1 kill so far. Young Bayo on the map, looking to represent the squad here. Acer trying to take shots out there on the Knoll. We're going to see the next circle pop here in just a moment, and it still will be favoring these teams in Painan. So honestly, they can kind of pump the brakes. I feel like they don't necessarily need to make the breach, but we are going to be looking at Simplicity. They want to clear out Jovi, and they are going to be attempting to do just that, sending their full team in, making sure each and every room is clear before moving on into the next one. It looks like Lolo will be tossing a grenade down there, going to provide them the much needed time to walk across the buildings, the hallways, I guess you say. Russell going to be breaching right now, going to be knocked down and out. Then Lolo with the spray on the M4, going to be taking down Jovi. Jovi trying to defend themselves, but Monica, here comes Wildcard.
Yeah, Wildcard, they were using that as their opening to push across the water, trying to get on this fight. They're going to try to come in third party. They just missed it though, because Simplicity, they were able to get the revive on one of their members. Simplicity, I think, quickly identifying that this is the third party. They're just backing up, putting some more distance between them, because Russell, he still needs to heal. The saving grace though, Null, getting the knock onto Slicky from the background. So Wildcard down to only 3 players. Oh, Brooks is getting knocked too.
Remaining. The action unfolding right now. Doc out here in the distance will be connecting onto Percocet, trying to provide that overview for their squad mates out here. And Wildcard, they are going to have 3 members alive. They'll name 3 members. Simplicity, 4 members. And just like that, we are down to only 3 teams. 2 of those teams will be in Painan, just the south of the city. And the unnamed out there on the south here might be looking to get another chicken dinner here. Doc standing their ground right now. 4 members. Let's see if they can use this to their advantage. Marco.
That circle, look at the unnamed. They're just up on top of the hill, and they're just waiting for Simplicity and Wildcard to come up the hill that they can just take them out. So maybe they're going to be able to clutch this win that they weren't able to do in the previous match in Miramar. Because right now, Wildcard and Simplicity, they're wasting each other's time, and they're holding each other outside of the circle. So Simplicity, Wildcard, they just need to they need to quickly flush each other out as soon as they can. So Spring and Acer now getting third party from up above. So Acer, he knows there's not really much room for him to work with at all. Duck, he's got that Vector spraying it through the window. He knows that Wildcard's on the other side. The only thing stopping them from pushing right over here is they know that the unnamed have a really, really good angle on him. Acer just kind of pre-fighting around the corner, trying to hopefully get those shots, but the circle is closing in now, starting to do some damage. Acer tagging him down very, very low, but they need to take each other out. He knows he's outside the zone. Can he get it? He gets the first knock, but Acer, he comes in through the building. So he's still outside the zone though, but Simplicity coming up a little bit further up the mountain.
Yeah, I'm really liking the unnamed right now. They're kind of spreading out right now. They are going to be down there on the high ground in the south, overlooking these fights. Looks like Acer is going to be getting chunked down to the blue, leaving just the 3 members of Simplicity to all work their way on uphill. Lucas, the snake in the grass, going to be attempting to take some shots out there, missing a couple of them. Russell going to be tossing out a molly over there. Don't count them down and out though, because we still have Spring alive, healing up in the blue. Can they outlive? Can they survive this fight right now? Looks like Spring attempting to make their way on into the new zone. Will be tagged and bagged, but not before they can get a knock onto Lolo, and that might open it up for the unnamed to just push and get extremely aggressive if they were paying attention to the kill feed. It looks like they were doing just that. Lucas with the Uzi, the extendo, the suppressor, going to be getting the final blow here for the unnamed. And you know what? The unnamed, they haven't had a chicken dinner here so far in the finals, but coming into this game, they're in 4th place on the overall leaderboard. So that might just solidify their positioning in the top 3. And you know what? Simplicity, another great game for them as well.
I'd like to point out this is redemption for the unnamed. Remember the Miramar match? The last 2 players were the unnamed and Simplicity. And in that game, the unnamed, they had the circle. They just played a little bit too aggressively, exposed themselves a little bit too much, and Simplicity was able to capitalize on that, and they were able to push up onto the unnamed and just, you know, take them out, and they were able to get the win the last game. This time around, though, the unnamed, they learned some hard lessons. They had the circle again this time. They played it perfectly, and they just waited. They really just waited for a Spring. He got that opening knock for them, so they kind of inadvertently worked together. Spring getting that knock onto Simplicity, and then the unnamed, they got a second knock, and then they just capitalized on that, and then they just pushed around the circle, and they finished it off. And now they are finally able to get the win that was stolen from them in Miramar.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if Spring would have gotten a knock onto one of the members from the unnamed, we might have seen the same strategy come out from Simplicity, theoretically speaking. So, in a sense, Spring definitely helping tilt the odds there in the end, and inadvertently helping that team get the chicken dinner. Of course, all these squads set themselves up for the victory when it comes to positioning and having their squad mates still alive. The Knights though, 7th place coming this game. They were about 10 points behind 5th place. They did get a 4th place here, so they will have some placement points alongside those 3 kills. HQA, we see Heartless with 3 kills, 5th place. I want to say, of course, we'll see what the scoreboards look like after the break, but I want to say top 3 might be solid. It might just be solid with their point lead, and that's going to pretty much allow 4th and 5th place to be wide open when it comes to S&G, when it comes to the Knights, when it comes to Jovi, and you know what? I'm going to throw in Space Station as well.
Yeah, you want to see a Cinderella story, you know, having kind of hardships so far, and then maybe, you know, having the game of their lives that they might be able to climb back up into top 5. But we shall see. But right now, we're going to go to a break, and then we will be back with the last match of the North American PUBG Mobile Club Open Finals, and that's going to be on Vikendi.
The final countdown starts now. The moment we've all been waiting for here in North America. Which teams will be the top 5 to qualify and make it on over to the LAN? Coming up very shortly. Their hard work, it all comes down to this last game, Monica, and I believe we have the scoreboards up real quick. I mean, people are asking for it. People want to know them. Honestly, we were talking on the break. It looks like all these teams are going to be competing for that 5th place spot right now, because 5th to 6th place, 4 points. 5th to 8th place, 11 points.
Yeah, 1st to 4th, it's pretty solidified. They're comfortable right now. They can play.
They're pretty good.
They can play whatever they want right now. 5th place, Tribe. They should be expecting a hot drop, or they should be expecting a camp or something from the teams right below them, and that's going to be Pittsburgh Knights, Singularity, and Jovi. They're all really just so close in contention with each other to try to take that 5th place spot. I think beyond there, we would need to see such a massive game from them, but we really hope to see it. This is going to be an absolutely insane game.
Yeah, so we have to pay close attention to these drop spots and see if any of these teams at the top, if teams at the bottom, they really have nothing to lose. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to accomplish 60 points in one game. So I would hope that they would try to maybe stir some things up, maybe shake some things up, and contest these teams at the top. But we also might see a lot of teams, like we mentioned, Tribe Gaming, the Knights, SNG. They have a lot to play for. Same thing with Jovi. All they need is 11 points, and they could be in that top 5. So a lot of try-harding this map and maybe some Clown Fiesta. You throw that together, who knows what you will receive. And we're going to be checking out, Monica, is anything standing out to you as of right now looking at the map?
Okay, so Tribe, they usually go Cement Factory. That's a ballsy play for them to still go to Cement Factory. And they're there, but they are completely surrounded by X Gamer. X Gamer, they weren't even in the top little bit, so I think they're just going for some really, really aggressive plays, maybe able to take off a player or two from Tribe, but they're gonna be completely surrounding them right now. Over here, though, we had Prada land onto Space Station Gaming. I think they wanted Prada. They had, how many points did they have?
Prada, they're in 13th spot right now with 32 points. Space Station in 9th position on the overall with 47.
Yeah, Prada, they usually go to Movatra down in the southwest side. I think they either weren't able to get there, or it's kind of, there's no way that they're getting, unless they get, like you said, like 60 points to get up into the top part.
Exactly. So you just want to try some new things, maybe contest the squad. So if you do get the knock, at least you can say, hey, we took out Space Station. We went out in a blaze of glory type of deal. So we'll see what will happen. Looks like Stan's going to be making the initial shots out here with that Uzi and alerting Space Station of their current location on exactly which building they are in.
What just happened? Stan tried to get out of the window and I think tried to get back and accidentally bolted back in. I think this is a misclick that happened just now, because he should not have gone down right there. At Space Station Gaming, they're going to easily collect those 2 kills now. So Space Station Gaming advancing now, knowing there's only 2 players left alive from Prada. There's that MP5, your favorite gun, Dave. Juicy getting the knock onto Vutrung cow. So one player left alive. That is going to be Canary from Prada Space Station Gaming on a absolute rampage, trying to get that last one. So Canary, he got the one member of Space Station Gaming tagged very, very low, but he is running right now. He can hear the footsteps right behind him. Oh, this could be a GG's over in a little bit, and he gets taken down by Space Station Gaming, collecting that nice 4 kills to start the game off.
Yeah, so Space Station Gaming able to acquire 4 points here. This game, they're going to be setting themselves up on the right track because coming into this map, they are 26 points. 26 points behind that position to get in that top 5. So all these points are going to matter here. If they have one explosive game and could out-survive Jovi, SNG, the Knights, and Tribe, they might just be able to pull this one off. Looking on the flip end of this, we were talking about Tribe and how they are going to have to be somewhat cautious of their drop location. It looks like they have visitors, Monica.
Uh-oh, this is exactly what happened a year ago in the Spring PMCL 2019 finals. Tribe, they were the last ones to qualify, and we had about 5 teams drop on them in Rozhok and Erangel. So we're kind of in a repeat here. X Gamer, I think they have no way of making it, but I think they want to spoil it for them to potentially not qualify. So X Gamer, they already took 1 player out from Tribe. Kais a little bit on fire right now, so he didn't heal up, but Tribe, they're going to be up on top of them and just holding them at bay.
Gotta keep them at bay. That's all you can do, and make sure they don't get wiped, because Tribe trying to defend their 5th place spot on the overall leaderboard. Only 4 points in that top 5 with the Knights right behind them. So the X Gamers looking to destroy the dreams right now of the Tribe. Hopefully Tribe can put some fear into the eyes of X Gamers, as they are going to be on the outskirts right now looking to get this fight underway. I mean, we see Ralph, no helmet. That leaves you to believe that this is 100% an intentional hot drop onto Tribe, and they are trying to get aggressive early on here within the first 5 minutes. I mean, Seaga's got a Tommy and a pump, for crying out loud.
Yeah, X Gamer, they usually go to Volnova, so this is a complete different drop spot for them. They're not used to dropping here. But I think, you know, if you're in the position, if you're Pittsburgh Knights Singularity or Jovi, that's right behind Tribe on the leaderboard, they saw that first knock and the thirst on a King 8, and they're holding their breath right now. They're saying, please, please, allow X Gamer to continue to cripple Tribe, or best case scenario, take out Tribe completely right here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're watching the kill feed and you're any of these other teams, and you do see the engagement with Tribe, or even if Tribe, if they get taken out here, that's going to affect their playstyle 100% coming into the final zones of this game, just because you're going to know, like, okay, Tribe's already done. We were 4 points behind. This is doable. This is doable. So we'll see. Memo going to be holding the stairs right now, making sure X Gamers do not make the breach on into here.
Yeah, if you are Tribe, as soon as the scores came up after the previous match, you've had a massive red target on your back. All of these teams below you are gunning for you to take you out. So X Gamer Kais, he's just kind of baiting him a little bit, just opening door, closing it a little bit. Oh, we have it. It's starting.
Get a little spray. Memo gonna be spraying and letting them know, hey, I'm watching the stairs, and looks like only one of the members, Ralph, is going to be popping up with the MP5, going to be inflicting some damage and having to pull back real quick.
It is 1. It is just Epic left standing. Oh, he got the knock on the Kais. It's just Epic. He's 1 HP, but he knows that X Gamer, they're on the advancement now. He needs to get this first 8 up. He is praying he can get this up back up to 75 cell. But he has 3 players running up on him. Can he take him out? But he gets taken out.
Oh, Tribe down and out at the hands of X Gamers. Tribe only 4 points in the top 5, getting flushed by X Gamer, who came into this game in 14th position on the overall leaderboards. And just like that, Abusement Park currently sitting in 15th place, trying to get in the action as well in the Cement Park. But Monica, that might have been Tribe right there. That just might have been Tribe. Unless the Knights get taken down really early here. Same thing with SNG and Jovi. I mean, their chances are definitely not in their favor. They still got 3 other teams within reaching distance of that top 5 spot. X Gamers, they had a vendetta against Tribe. I don't know what they did to them, but they got payback in the end. That's for sure.
I knew it was gonna happen, but I was very surprised to see X Gamer was the one dropping around Tribe. I thought it was gonna be maybe Pittsburgh Knights or Singularity or Joby. They had more at stake at this point. But if you are Pittsburgh Knights, Singularity, or Joby right now, you are celebrating. The person that was literally less than 10 points ahead of you just got taken out. This is their chance. It is their 5th place to grab right now. Any of these streams could take it. Any of these streams
it's definitely not over yet. It's definitely not over yet. We still can't really tell. I mean, Tribe, I mean, they might just get lucky. Who knows, right?
Who knows?
I mean,
who knows?
Other teams could get 0 points, and that'd just be the hugest, you know, blessing ever within PUBG Mobile. But we were talking about it, like, Tribe should probably drop somewhere else. Like they can't be too predictable, considering how much they had riding on it. And I feel like they exposed themselves too much there at the end, and they got taken advantage of.
Yeah, this is a repeat of Spring last time around. The only difference is Spring last time around they were able to escape. Lucifer was the last, and Rozhok last time they had 5 teams jumping on them to take them out, but Lucifer was able to slip away and confirmed, I think it was a top 10 placement, and was able to get Tribe invited to the LAN in Berlin. But this time around they weren't able to make it past the drop. Okay, Oxide
might not be the case. It might not be the case. And of course, you know, I don't want to write them off quite yet. These other teams, you know, like we mentioned, the Knights, SNG, Joby, Space Station, still going to be alive, but 14 squads remaining here. We're going to be looking at X Gamers continuing to fight over here in the Cement Factory. Amusement Park's trying to make the push on up to them. Only 10 minutes into this match. Circle number 1. I'm going to do a quick little check and see where the Knights are. So the Knights are going to be just west of Cosmodrome. Nobody near them for the time being. Joby going to be somewhat in a centralized positioning, and SNG all the way down there in the south, just north of Castle. Nobody around them for the time being. But let's get into this. The action is erupting.
Yeah, last one alive is going to be Richie from Abusement Park, Maniac. He's got the smoke. He's throwing it around, getting a little self recover, but they know they have one player left alive from this team that they're fighting against. So Richie, he peeps around with a G36C, gets the first knock and tries to get the flush on a Ralphino, but it gets taken out, getting shot from 2 different directions from X Gamer. So X Gamer collecting, wow, 8 kills so far. That's going to be the entirety of Tribe and the entirety of Abusement Park as well, and they haven't lost a single member.
Where has this X Gamers been? I'm just saying, I mean, if they were playing with full-blown aggression the whole finals, we might be talking about a different X Gamers. I mean, they are popping off this final match. I don't know if they drink the special juice, the Michael Jordan juice from Space Jam or whatnot, but they are doing phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the kind of gameplay you would have hoped to see, because leading up until this match, they only got 12 kills, only 32 points. They were sitting at 14th position in the finals. Over here now, we have Universe 7 Versace getting that first knock on to Null Issue, A-Sun. K98, you'll love to see it 6 times as well. He's kind of watching over, just kind of waiting to see if Null will send a player over to try to get the revive on the Issue. He sees the smoke as well coming out, so it's kind of a dead giveaway over there. But yeah, Swifty able to make it back over to Issue to get the revive.
I mean, I'm still kind of blown away by that Tribe fight. I mean, oh my goodness, that was so huge for this lobby, for the teams in here. That just opened up so much. We are going to be looking at Universe 7, though, looking to get aggressive onto Null. When we do talk about Universe 7, they are currently in 12th place position. Overall leaderboards, Null down there in 11th place with only 2 members remaining.
Yeah, they got the first knock and the second onto Null. So right now it's just Fears and Kazuya left alive. They know that there's going to be a full send from Universe 7 trying to get those kills. Universe 7, they need as many kills as they can. Kazuya jumping out the back. You hear the footsteps drop, and Kazuya able to get the first knock, but he was 1 HP. So Rad able to get the refrag on to Kazuya. So right now it's going to be only Issue left alive. He only has a Uzi, not the gun that you want if you have an entire team pushing up onto you. Oh, he's trying to get it. Oh, he does a little bit of damage, but Fierce coming around, but just had 2 players shooting at him.
Pushing us 2 right there. Yeah, Universe 7 doing a good job. Now they're down, or they're up to 4 kills this map. So already losing so many teams only in circle number 1. I mean, it's kind of what is to be expected. We mentioned it on the drop, you know, these teams down there at the bottom. Oh, a pull up from Space Station, trying to third party, trying to catch Universe 7 off guard. They pulled up in their Zimas. Angry out here, trying to get a couple close range frags onto the members of Universe 7. Rad going to be holding down the wall right now. Only 2 members left from Universe 7. Remember, Space Station, they already got a couple kills underneath their belt here. They need this wipe so bad right now. Sheepin and Angry are going to be getting chunked out in return. And
oh no, Space
Station Gaming get taken down to Universe 7.
Okay, let's break down what just happened there. Space Station Gaming, they needed so many points to get that 5th place spot. So they had no choice but to go big or go home. They got those 4 kills early in Goroka when Prada jumped on them. You know, that was a gift for them. But they heard this fight over here. They needed to send it. They needed to convert. They want to play just as aggressively as possible, just rack up as many kills. But they weren't able to execute it, and they got taken out by Universe 7. So there goes Space Station Gaming. No chance now of getting in the top 5 to make it to PUBG Mobile Pro League.
I mean, that, like you said, that was the right play. That's what they needed. They needed to get so many kills in high placement points in this last game. That's where we saw them pulling up, being extremely aggressive. So I definitely agree with that play right there. And it came down to a 1v1 at the end. And you know what? Universe 7 just getting the better half of that and getting that nice spray at the end will be confirming themselves some more points. Now, should we be looking at Universe 7 to potentially get into that top 5 position? Well, you know what? So far, they got a bunch of kills under their belt, and it's never too late. If they get a chicken dinner here, the possibilities are endless. Simplicity still going to be alive out here, trying to maintain their positioning on the leaderboards in 3rd place. Going to be up here just taking some shots for Angry Babies down here as well. Kind of pinned down for the remainder of this circle at least. But Monica, we are seeing so much aggression come out in the very final game here of the finals. It is just insane what these teams are doing.
I love watching these kind of final games like this because they're very atypical of what you usually see in PUBG Mobile because everything is on the line. Normally, Space Station Game, if this was a regular game, they wouldn't have done that. They would just play their regular game, try to get as high placements as possible, and just get whatever kills they could. But they needed to go big or go home. They needed to get the win with how many kills? Like 20 some, you know, a ton of kills to make it into top 5.
At least 15.
Yeah, so them going out like that, it's, you know, they have nothing left to lose. Basically.
They didn't have an option. Yeah, they needed to come into this game and just full-blown send it and, you know, take all the fights and win the fights. And that's what they attempted to do. So, you know what? The thing is that you got to think of, yes, it's only a best of 8, but you never want to be put in these situations as a squad where the last game is when you have to go big or go home. Like, you want to be consistent throughout every single game so that, for example, Tribe, you're not only 4 points ahead in 5th place position. So, of course, you got yourself there, but you just, you know, missing these points along the way, we mentioned it, just so critical. I mean, all these knocks and no flushes, this is when you go back and you watch the VODs, you're like, my goodness, if only we would have gotten that extra point here. If only we would have gotten this extra point there, we would have made it.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020. Looks like Universe 7, they pushed up just right into the side of Wildcard. You said Universe 7, they've had so many kills this game so far, but now they may have fallen into the trap of Wildcard. Looks like they just lost another player. So right now, it's just Rad left standing from Universe 7. Asen just bleeding out. Wildcard's going to collect those kills, and they're going to try to take him out, but Acer gets knocked to Rad. So Universe 7... right now, they're just clinging, holding on by the skin of their teeth. Rad, just on the other side of this boulder, he can hear the footsteps of Spring pushing up a little bit closer. Spring just kind of trying to find the different angles. He's waiting for the rest of his team to meet up with him. Can he get it? And he shoots it out and gets straight perfectly and gets the finish onto Universe 7 Wildcard. You know, they don't need the points because they're already comfortably in 1st place, but that was a nice 4 kills to add to their tally.
And you know what? It was a nice, nice ending for Universe 7. I mean, putting up the fights with all these teams in this last game. I would have loved to have seen it throughout the finals, like we mentioned about those other squads, but I like that they demonstrated what they're capable of, right? They gave us a nice little showing at the end, what confidence can do. And, Wild Card just going to be cleaning on up, currently in first place on the overall leaderboards, saying, listen, we're going to remain up there. We're going to make sure we end out our finals in first place and not give it up to any squads out here. So another team to watch out for, HQA currently in second place, looking to set up a bridge camp on Jovi. Now, this could be huge for Jovi. Jovi, with Tribe being taken down and out pretty early on, they have a really good chance of qualifying in that top 5.
All right, everybody. The 3 teams to watch for right now are Pittsburgh Knights, Singularity, and Jovi. Before this game, Pittsburgh Knights, they had 69 points, Singularity had 64, and Jovi had 62. Right now, those are the 3 teams the closest to each other to try to get that 5th place spot. So, Pittsburgh Knights, Singularity, Jovi, they're wishing that the other 2 teams in those 3 teams will go out. Yeah, exactly. So they're just paying attention so closely to the kill feed. And so, for Jovi right here, if they're able to clean up helping quit addiction, they're going to be able to get 4 kills there. And say Pittsburgh Knights and Singularity don't have as good of a game, they can jump over them from 8th place up into 5th place. That is the dream for Jovi right now.
The thing is, I'm worried about Jovi. They're down Prophecy. They're near HQA. And not only that, they have the unnamed out there on the edge to the east who might opt to come in this direction soon. And looking at these other teams that you mentioned, Monica, the Knights are going to be up here in the north playing the edge near Simplicity. One team, though, SNG, all the way down there in the south currently with nobody around them. So what that goes to tell me is that they should be getting somewhat of a decent placement points in this game, especially if this next zone shifts in their direction. So they're back there. They're praying hard right now that they get favored in this next circle. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Singularity last night in Bikini, they were able to get 2nd place with a decent amount of kills. So Bikini, it's definitely a map that they know and love, that they're very comfortable on, that they've shown that they're able to put up those numbers on. So right now, the circle, it shifted down south. So Singularity just on the edge, Wildcard on top of Mount Kresnik. They're just come in a little bit more, but again, Singularity having the uncongested side of the circle, while Pittsburgh Knights and Jovi, the 2 players that they're contesting against to make it to top 5, they're on the wrong side of that frozen river, and they have so many teams around them that could potentially play spoil, take them out, and they could lose some members.
Exactly, and you know what? That's what I was just saying. SNG, they needed this next circle to go in their favor, and guess what? It did. So they're going to be out there in the edge, just waiting it out, hoping that these other teams like the Knights, like Jovi, get taken out right now. The chances are pretty high. We're going to see Jovi out there making the early rotate. Caitlyn in the vehicle. Slump going to be gliding on over this ice right now. Gabby's going to be connected on in the distance by one of the members from X Gamers, and Caitlyn going to be bouncing over that rock, just leaving one of the members from Jovi alive. And I believe that might have been it. I saw Slump taken down and out as well in the kill feed. Jovi in 10th position.
Yeah.
SNG and the Knights still alive, so their chances going to be affected by that placement.
If I was Jovi, I would have wide rotated around, not go through all these teams fighting in the edge of the circle. So Jovi, yeah, they're out. So right now it's between PK and between Singularity to get that top 5 spot. Now we have Lucas throwing some grenades over. They saw X Gamer. Remember, X Gamer was the one that infamously took out Tribe early in the match. Right now, there's 2 of them just stuck on this boulder. The unnamed all surrounding them. They're using utilities, trying to get some easy cleanups here. But Q, he's going to be cooking that one. He knows it down there. He just saw him. He has it. Oh, and that was the perfect nade. He got the 1 knock and just took out Kais just like that. That was just too easy for Q.
Yo, the unnamed, they have been on it tonight. Let me tell you, I mean, they have just been doing such a good job. Coming into tonight, they actually were not top 5. Coming into this game, they were in the 4th place on the leaderboard. So they came in with the game plan. They obviously went over the VODs last night. They had some type of strategy, and they're implementing just that. Looks like HQA are going to be getting pushed on by Simplicity right now. This is going to be 2nd place and 3rd place on the overall leaderboards. Fighting it out right now, right near this bridge. in this new circle on the edge. Heartless with the Bison. My favorite weapon going to be up here on the second story. I believe spotting out Irish, but Irish going to be pulling back for just the moment. Young Bayo, aka Russell, out here extremely low with the HP, will be breaching that compound.
Ooh.
Most likely looking for some type of cover. Heartless going to be coming downstairs to provide that support. We'll be just spraying away those 53 bullets into the smoke. And HQA, they did it again.
They did it again, indeed. So Simplicity out in 8th position. Now over there, what I really want to pay attention is we have Pittsburgh Knights fighting against the Unnamed now. So Rand got knocked to Pittsburgh Knights. So we have 7 teams left alive. The circle shifted off the mountain to Mount Kresnik. So we have 4AB and Wildcard, and it's Singularity. They got a nice spot in the circle, but Pittsburgh Knights, oh man, they only have 2 players left alive, and they're so far outside the zone with no vehicle whatsoever.
Pittsburgh Knights, all they need to do is take their 2 players that are currently alive, go find a hole, go find a ditch, go find a ravine, or some type of hardcover and just survive. But it looks like the odds are going to be stacked against them, as they will not be favored in this next zone. We're going to see Raven, we're going to see J7 playing extremely cautious out here as they try to run across these ice fields to make it on into the new zone. The Unnamed up there in the north, maybe looking down in their direction. Looks like the Unnamed will be popping into a vehicle, possibly trying to get in front of the Knights and gatekeep them. So looking at these other teams, Pittsburgh Knights, 6th place coming into this game. 2 players left, still alive. SNG right behind them, 7th place coming into this game, still alive as well. So both those teams are going to be fighting it out for that 5th place position.
Yeah, the Unnamed, they crashed up onto the boulder just below Latinos Unidos. Hero, YouTube, oh, they only started with 3, so Rebel, and then they're already at a disadvantage at this fight against the Unnamed. They just kind of crashed up on top. The Unnamed, they have to be careful, though. You can see Wildcard off in the distance, just like that. So I called it. Spring got the knock on the Q with that angle. They're a little bit too exposed on the right side, so Latinos Unidos, they could see that on the kill feed. They'll hear those gunshots all around them. I think Gabriel was thinking about throwing that molly down to kind of even out the fight. Now, Clue from Singularity gets the knock on to Bucky from the side. The Unnamed just pulled up in the wrong spot, and they're getting torn apart on either side of them. So Lucas and Q, last 2 left standing from the Unnamed. It's just absolute mayhem right now.
Yeah, the Unnamed definitely destroying dreams here in this lobby. Latinos Unidos, though, trying to stand their ground. Gonna be right smack in the middle. SNG just to the south of this. We see them down there in those buildings, 4 alive. Remember, they are trying to out-survive the Knights. The Knights somehow able to make it on into this new zone. We are going to see where this next circle goes. Looks like the Knights will not be favored. Same thing with SNG. But I do believe the Knights will have an easier rotation on into that eastern edge. Meanwhile, Wildcard in the north going to be utilizing a 2-2 split, looking to continue their reign of terror here in the final match of the evening. Monica, 5 teams remaining, and out of 2 of those teams, they're competing for that top 5 position. It's wide and open. Yeah. It's wide and open.
We're looking at Pittsburgh Knights and Team Singularity. So before this match, there was a 5-point deficit between the 2. Pittsburgh Knights having 5 more points than Team Singularity. Right now, both these teams, 0 kills. And Pittsburgh Knights, they're down 2 players. They only have 2 left alive, and Singularity still has all 4 of their players. So both of these 2 teams, they're in the hot seat right now. It all comes down to this last game of PMCO in North America.
1 game to go. 5 teams in whole will be the deciding factor on who the top 5 will be sent on over to the PMPL. You see Wildcard, they're going to be grouping up here. They're going to be trying to group up in the north. The Knights taking a little bit of too much time, in my opinion, to make their way on into this new zone, but they might have been compromised in the process. LTU going to be over here in the compound, find themselves in their own engagement. One of the members from Wildcard will be connected on, Gabriel. Hopefully going to be continuing to survive, but the Unnamed, Monica, have been so hot tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if they might get another chicken dinner. They still have 4 alive.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, they're still not in the circle, and they have to cross a road completely open without a vehicle. So they're kind of waiting out here. They're just praying. They're praying right now, Singularity, that they get taken out before them. So the first player from Singularity gets knocked. So Minwoo, oh! 3 players knocked from Team Singularity. It is just Clue left alive. If he gets taken out, it could be Pittsburgh Knights' opportunity to make it into the top 5. Clue, now with only a third of the way helped with the Uzi. He comes around the edge. He's trying to get the knock. He gets a knock onto Lucas Singularity. Clue, however, he knows there's somebody up on top over there. He needs to get the first aid off to get his health back up. He's not in the circle either. Pittsburgh Knights 7 gets taken out by the play. Raven got taken out by Slicky. Pittsburgh Knights out in 5th place before Singularity. If Singularity can hold on just a little bit more, they can get some more points in terms of placements and maybe jump ahead of Pittsburgh Knights. So Clue, he needs to just hang on for dear life.
Just maybe. Of course, we'll need to wait and see the overall leaderboards at the end. We're not exactly sure how many kills every team got, but SNG Clue is going to be healing on up over there, just trying to survive. It's going to be one heck of a ride, considering we still got 3 members of Wildcard up and Adam. 10 kills so far. 2 of their names, the unnamed, also up and Adam alive, looking to connect on to that last member of SNG. Here we go. LTU, 3 members also up, coming into the final zones of this map. And Clue was connected on by Rand. So that is the teams. They're all out. All those teams running for that top 5, that 5th place spot on the overall leaderboards. The Knights, SNG, Jovi, Space Station, they've all been killed. So now it looks like it's coming down to the unnamed fighting to overthrow Wildcard in that 1st place position. Let's see who will get the final chicken dinner of the finals here in North America.
Yeah, this is Wildcard's game all the way. They're so spread out in the circle. They have so much control in this circle. Right now, LTU tanking some blue damage. Looks like Rand getting a knock onto Slicky. This might be their opening to try to progress into the circle. Pricker says he sees Bucky come around. He almost got the knock. He had about 5 more damage that he needed to inflict to get the knock on to Bucky. So Q hiding behind this tree. They'd lost Lucas before, so it's just Q, Bucky, very low HP, and Rand left alive. LTU, they're making their way down the mountain, but they're getting surrounded by Wildcard and the unnamed game picked apart from either side. So we still have 3 players left up. The Latinos Unidos so low right now.
They're so low, but they could play such a critical role here on who gets this final chicken dinner. We are going to be checking out Wildcard up here on the high ground, trying to get the wraparound. Looks like Slicky will be getting into an engagement themselves up here.
Oh, Bucky!
On both ends, and Bucky will be connected on by Acer, the surprise attacker from downtown. And it looks like LTU might be setting themselves up for a nice little 2nd place here. Slicky going to be setting it out in the blue.
Oh.
Doesn't care to wait, and my goodness, Wildcard, that will be their 3rd chicken dinner. So they won 3 out of 8 games in the finals. LTU getting that 2nd place. The unnamed getting 3rd place there. HQA getting 6th place. Foreign Babe 7th place. The real question here, though, Tribe getting taken out so early with only 4 points, keeping them afloat in that top 5. Will it be enough? Or will the Knights, will SNG, will Jovi, will Space Station, will those 4 teams overthrow them, Monica?
Yeah, I've never seen such a close final like that. It was Pittsburgh Knights. They lost 2 early in the match, and I don't know about you guys, I was on the edge of my seat the entire match after Tribe was taken out, because it was really just anyone's
all
game.
The teams were.
Oh my goodness.
Let's be real.
Yeah,
especially if you're Tribe, you're hoping that they got taken out so early. But it looks like SNG, looks like the Knights, they were able to survive just long enough to most likely get enough points. Most likely. But we're gonna wait. We're gonna see when the admins give us the green light here on what these final scores look like.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, they went out in 5th. I think they were able to get 2 kills right at the end there. And then Singularity, they weren't able to get any kills, but they went out right before them. So we'll just wait. We actually have the scores now. You want to see them?
All right, I'm getting a confirmation that they're good.
Okay, we'll confirm that we're good. Not giving sort of false hope.
Okay, we got the confirmation. Pull them up, Monica.
All right.
Pull them up.
Ready? Drum roll, please.
I'm ready.
Ready, and there you have it. So we have first place Wildcard, second place The Unnamed, third place Helping Quit Addiction, fourth place Simplicity, and fifth place Pittsburgh Knights, able to clutch it up right at the end there to get that last spot into the PUBG Mobile Pro League.
By 4 points. By only 4 points. So the rules were reversed in this last game between the Knights and Tribe. My goodness. We said coming into this game that fifth place was open for the taking, and there's about 5 runner-ups, and they definitely tried their best coming into the final map. Not only that, we had teams, you know, pull the Uno reverse card on us and just completely change up the game, surprise us in the final match. X Gamers, I mean, X Gamers, let's talk about X Gamers pretty much destroyed Tribe Gaming's dreams that game. LTU, they did a pretty solid job. Universe 7 as well. Universe 7, they were popping off that final match. My goodness. But all in all 16 of these teams, they fought very hard through the group stages, through the semifinals, through the opens. So, you know what? If your name, if your team, if you played at this level in North America, like, you deserve to just, you know, give yourself a pat on the back regardless. And of course, you know, huge congrats to those teams that are in that top 5, because you know what? That's going to be the top 5 teams from North America that will get seeded up against Latin America, Brazil, and the 5 invited teams to the 2020 PMPL Americas, the offline league. And you know what? How many of these teams? HQA, the Unnamed, those are 2 teams that aren't officially signed, right?
That's true.
Like an org. So this could be life-changing as well.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh Knights, they owe a massive thank you card to X Gamer for what they did and able to put them up into the PUBG Mobile Pro League. So I'm very excited. We're going to have these top 5 from PMCO, and then join the 3 teams that were invited straight into PUBG Mobile Pro League that were the top 3 from last split. So that's going to be Cloud9, Tempo Storm, and Omen Elite. They're going to be 8 teams representing North America in Pro League.
So it should be a pretty good first half of 2020. A lot of teams going to be out there representing. So make sure you go drop those follows on all those Twitters of those players so that you can follow their careers from here on out. They definitely deserve it. Make sure you drop the follows on Monica's and myself's social medias as well, because you know what? We love you for it. And you know what? We love getting followed.
Yeah. So my Twitter is going to be Monica with 2 A's _gaming, and then Mustache Dave is going to be Mustache Dave _.
And that's going to do it. Make sure any comments, questions, or concerns, any highlight moments that you guys got, you know, tweet it at us. Tweet it at us. Tag us in it. Easy retweets for days, for sure. But Monica, I think I said about it. I mean, I'm proud of these teams. I'm proud of these teams that made it. I'm telling you, they did such a good job. And what a crazy end to North America out here. What, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel very nostalgic tomorrow, because it just felt like such a journey with all these teams. We saw teams that formed right before PUBG Mobile Club opened, you know, a group of friends, or they kind of found each other to make their way into now the final stages of PMCO. Like I think Prada was one of those. We had who else was that? Abusement Park was another one of those. But it's just teams can really come out of nowhere and just do so well, and we're just able to.
And they did well.
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
well. So, great job for all these squads out here. And that's going to be it. That is going to be it. Make sure you stay up to date with the PUBG Mobile, Twitter, Instagram, all of the social medias out there, just so you are aware of all and any events up and coming. And that's going to be it for us. Thanks for tuning on in for all the past broadcasts, and thanks for being amazing viewers. And don't stop playing PUBG Mobile.